Henson kicks towards goal. Solid tackle there. He takes that well by Jones. It's around 1-2. But his kick was good. Bursting on it with just tapping in front of him. Welcome down to Henson Park for the grand final of 2006, the Sydney AFL. The coin toss being held right in front of us. John Vlatko has won it, the East Coast Eagles captain, and will kick to the left of screen. The grand final, the East Coast Eagles head in undefeated. Pennant Hills 12 wins and 6 defeats, including finals, and it is the Hills Derby. It doesn't get much bigger than this, and it's a very good afternoon to Andrew Billy Baxter.
Yes, thank you, Brendan. Should be a fantastic game. These two sides have got an unbelievable rivalry, and it should be no exception today. Looking forward to a fantastic clash. The weather not so flash here. We'll get on to Dan in a minute about that, but it should be a very, very tight and good grand final. We also welcome our fellow commentator, Steve Murphy.
Thanks, Billy. Looking forward to this one. Grand finals, always important as we're about to go to the national anthems. We'll get to Dan first. Dan, got to look forward to this one, mate. Grand final day 2006.
Anticipation is killing me, Murph. Loving this. We've seen a big season for the East Coast Eagles. They'll come into this, as we've mentioned, undefeated, but if you go down today, it's all pretty much left behind them. So for Pennant Hills, they've struggled coming into finals, lost a couple of games coming in, but then they've absolutely been red hot for the last 2 weeks. Got over the top of a strong Western Suburbs side, and they're really just knocking on the door at the moment. But I think these conditions, they will hold a bit of favour over to the Eagles. They're a bit more of a top-heavy side.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are young and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
There's the national anthem. You saw in there the umpires. Good luck to those guys and congratulations on their appointments today. The field umpires Joel Elliott, Frank Kulisic and Nathan Lascelles. The boundary umpires Craig Anderson, Luke McSpirin and Tim Griffin. And the goal umpires today David Harding and Con Sonis.
It's an interesting one there. The loudspeaker not waiting for Pennant Hills to get into line for the national anthem. Is that any sort of omen for today's game?
Mate, sure, this is the most exciting final that we've seen.
To see Fitton, Merkel, Williams and Keir going to the bench there for the Eagles.
Waiting for Pennant Hills to break now.
Of course, the other winners earlier today, Balmain beat Western Suburbs by 5 points. Last kick in the Challenge Cup under-18s. North Shore beat Pennant Hills in the under-18s Premier Cup by 57 points. And the reserves, we just saw the East Coast Eagles down Pennant Hills by 24 points.
And the key matchups today, Dan, what should we be looking for here?
Be interested to see where Spencer goes, and we'll find that out in a second. Big Gus Seebeck up at full forward, been very strong. Lots of challenges on the ball. You've got Mick Talbot, you've got Jason Kalupish, you've got Mark Goody, you've got Keating versus Fraunfelter in the ruck. Youngsters going through the back line, and we're just having a look where Spencer is going into the forward line. And a couple of big jobs for some of the youngsters in that back line in Shepherd
Sydney AFL Grand Final for 2006 at Henson Park. East Coast versus Pennant Hills. Here's Billy Baxter.
Well, a good struggle here in the middle, straight up. Talbot's trying to dive upon it. One of the co-captains of Pennant Hills. Goodrum gets it out beautifully to Goody. Inside 50 for the Eagles. Good start for them. Comes towards Oliver. Oliver, over goes all of them. Oliver gets it out now to Ben Physic. Ben Physic kicks it into the middle looking for Richie. Good spoil there. Physic again. Roves it. Goal to the Eagles. What a brilliant start.
21 seconds.
Fantastic work there from Physic. He did a great job. It was good work out of the centre from the Eagles. Physic worked hard. He did the smart thing, dropped it on the left boot, tried to get it into the centre, and then played on to recover, and that was a great start.
Umpire Kalazic to go back to the centre and restart things. So in the opening 30 seconds, courtesy of Ben Physics, the Eagles get the first one-straight goal, 6-0 score to Pennant Hills. Kalazic throws the ball up in the middle. Fromfeller tapped it down. Goodrum head over the football, free kick in the back. So Goodrum to take the ball defensive side of centre wing. Your umpires, number 7 Frank Kalazic, Joel Elliott in 17 and number 21 Nathan Lessels this afternoon as Goodrum kicks the ball to half forward. Promising outset in the first minute for the East Coast Eagles. Inside 50 ball bounces over the line and out of bounds. Covered about 60 metres in territory and we've got a throw in. Still, sorry Dan.
As you can see, very ordinary conditions. Got to make the most of this ball while it's still dry. It's going to get very heavy and waterlogged quite shortly. So they need to make the most of it, and also before that rain returns, because I'm sure it will throughout the day.
It's very overcast as you speak down at the moment. The ball tapped down towards the boundary line once more. Goodrum tracks it over the line and out of bounds. Throw in 52 and a half around from the Eagles goal.
Boundary umpire set to bring it back in. The East Coast Eagles a goal in the first 20 seconds of this grand final. Ruckman to go at it. One down for the Demons. No clear possession coming out of there. We'll see plenty of these during the day. Another ball up. Umpire Elliott coming in to do the honours. Umpires today, of course, number 7 Frank Kalazic, number 17 Joel Elliott, and from the man himself, number 21 Nathan Lessels. Quick kick out of the pack, goes down towards centre wing, but the mark taken by Charleston, kick behind the play, gave it off to McRedmond. He goes up and under towards centre half forward. At the back, the fist was put in there by Keating, and a high tackle has been paid against Keating. It's going to Nick Potter, and he will move it forward for the Demons. Goes out wide. Who can run onto it? Barrett. Boundary line is close, and we'll have a throw in.
Looks like he was hobbling slightly there, Barrett, just running for that ball.
Yeah, he just got a bit of a slide into the fence, which mightn't have helped it if he has got that hobble.
So Justin Barrett's been a key player for the Pennant Hills Demons this year. He's a fantastic young player. Kicks the ball inside 50. Looks down there. Good spoil away by the Eagles. Kick off the ground by Spencer. Tries to gather it himself again. Goodrum's in there for the Eagles. Ball comes out the back towards Physic, who kicked that first goal. Potter for Pennant Hills. Still Potter. Good tackle there by Goodrum. Peter Carey in there as well for the Demons, and the umpire will have a ball up.
Extremely tough over the ball, Goodrum. He's a great young kid. Gets a lot of attention in this league, but he holds it all back and makes sure he gives it 110% every time at the footy.
Picks up the free kick there in the back by Potter. Played well for it, Goodrum, just being first to the ball. Handball's off now to Pearson. He's normally a penetrating kick. No exception. Doesn't quite well. Frauenfelder dropped what he should have taken. Physic just charges in there. What brilliant attack on the footy. Inside 50 looking for Oliver. Seebeck's at the back. He's playing on Widmar. Trails towards the boundary line and over it goes. Big Gus Seebeck with the ball there. The 99 Sandover medalist. He's been in fantastic form this year. Kicked over 60 goals.
So the ball will be thrown in. An intense start to this match as we've gone beyond 4 minutes in it. The 2006 Premier League Grand Final for the Sydney Footy League, exclusive to the Fox Footy channel. Goody got it, got tackled high, free kick. No against him for holding the ball, in fact a throw. And so Pennant Hills a chance to repel from defence. Ben Physic has to get up off the ground and handball back to that man in Talbot, the captain. He's got the ball 30 metres out from his defensive goal. Not a lot of movement. He's kicked 30 metres. Vlatko got in the way for the Eagles. Cleared over the back of the pack, however. Sean Jones tried the feed to Keane. Keane tapped it along, pushing the back. Nothing seen there. Going through Kalupis, dragged off the football. Players converge on it now. Spills out. Going in was Alistair Richardson. Hard at the footy. Feeds it back to Talbot. High up and under. Kick towards centre wing. Camp under that and play fair. They do. Out of bounds. Throw in centre wing. Great start to the 2006 Premier League Sydney Football League Grand Final.
And about 100 umbrellas just went up simultaneously, so it looks like there's another shower coming across Henson Park. Fraunfelder won it down. Jones tumbled it forward. Robinson left it behind. Potter goes through. Solid tackle laid by Pearson. The umpire will have to come in and ball it up.
Great pick up there from Potter, and that's going to be one of the important things you'll see today. Making sure that they pick up that ball one touch. You just see a shot of the forecast there. Showers, possible hail, maximum of 16. It's a little bit shy than that, probably about 12 or 13 at the moment.
5.5 minutes gone. The goal inside the first 20 seconds to Physic is still the only score. Spencer might have got one in the back. Umpire said play on. Smythe tries to go through, can't get there. Hand pass tapped out by Setford, knocked straight back in. Ball falls out the back to Goodrum. Swings around onto the left boot. Kicks inside towards forward 50. Oh, waited for it nicely. Physic gave it to Vlatko. Kicks inside. Bouncing ball for Seabeck. Couldn't get down to pick it up. Hacked off the ground by Parker, looking for the boundary line. Getting there first, Charlie Richardson and Rowan Ritchie at the same time. Good desperation, both players, and we'll have a throw in.
See the first change down there on the boundary line. Matthew Carey coming on. John Moreira's coming off. Matthew Carey's been another key young player for the Demons this year. So ball in, almost on 50 metres for the Eagles. Comes down towards Goody. Now comes back to him via Ritchie. Out wide towards Ritchie. Can he pick it up? Slams it onto his left foot. Up into the goal square. Seabeck parks himself under it. Eyes only for the footy. Recovers well. Didn't quite get there before the boundary line, and it'll be out of bounds a couple of metres round from the boundary.
Great work there from Seth Parker. Came across the top. He was the one that knocked it out of Gus's hands. Well, Gus had to sit in that occasion. Sam Widmar with the big job today on Gus Seaback, the younger on the old.
So Ryder tries to bring it to the back. Physic was onto it. Good play, though, by Delaquila, and there'll be another ball up by umpire Elliott.
The older player there in Gus, I should make sure. You might see me after the game.
See there, the last time they met was in round 10 at Borkham Hills, a back to Borco Day, a Heritage Day, and the Eagles got up by some 52 points, although they did kick the last 8 goals of the game.
So as we await the boundary throw-in, umpire calls time off. About to be blown back on. That umpire there is Joel Elliott in number 17 with Nathan Lessels, Frank Kalazic. All important job for those 3 umpires this afternoon. Let's hope, like they said yesterday at the luncheon, they'll let things go. From the throw-in 40 metres out, Ryder had the jumper pulled. Umpire didn't see it that way. Shepherd then applied to Shepherd. Gave back. Sean Jones went in. Kalupis with him. Runner-up in the Phelan medal just by the sultry vote, and the ball is over the line. Out of bounds, 30 metres out from attacking goal East Coast Eagles. They lead it 1 straight goal, 6 to no score. We've got some light drizzle becoming heavier and heavier by the minute. Ryder tried to tap it down, palmed it straight to ground level. Jones was wrapped up. Good Goodrum tackle. How good's he been? Had vital touches early and put himself in the right position to earn several free kicks. We've got a bounce, and we're still sit about 40 metres out from goal for the Eagles. Umpire to redo it again, Joel Elliott. Throws the ball up. We'll see a bit of that today. Ryder again over the top, dominating the Goody. Snap on goal. Won't be a goal. It's across the face. Sneaks in for a minus score. 1-1-7 the Eagles. No score to Pennant Hills. We've gone 8.5 in the opening term.
East Coast plenty of the ball at the moment. They've definitely got the advantage of the wind with Johnny Vlatko winning the toss and deciding to go left of screen. So they've got that advantage at the moment. Really need to make the most of it in these early conditions.
Parker found Jones. Now on to Alistair Richardson. Looks further up the field. Running back on for him was Jones, and he takes the mark again. A couple of possessions early for Sean Jones. As we cross the 9-minute mark in this first quarter. No options. Now called to play on. Smythe tries to track in towards him. Clark provides the Shepherd. Jones goes to the outer side. Big pack forms, no clear possession. Spencer tried to go off the ground, kicking in danger, clear decision. And the free kick will go to the East Coast Eagles. And it is Christian Pearson to take it. Bumps it back from where it came towards forward 50. Strong effort, almost the mark. In fact, the mark has been paid, and it is Ryder who has taken it, clinging onto the ball, which almost must be wet and slippery. Brilliant pass, Seebeck.
Well, that is the key down there, just to isolate him, get him one-on-one. That's what he did, and he was able to beat his opponent to the ball.
Especially if they start close. Widmer really probably needs to stand a little bit forward of him, take the risk that it's going to fall a little bit shorter than go overhead. He's going to need some help on Big Gus. He's a young player, but he's been doing a fantastic job over the last few weeks, picking up key targets up in the opposition's forward line, and he's got that again today. So we'll have a look at Gus and see if he can get a second one on the board for the Eagles.
So 64 goals for the season for Gus Seebeck as he comes in now. Kicks from 35, it's across the face, and he has missed. Should have done better than that, Big Gus. And the Eagles go to 1-2-8. Pennant Hills yet to score after 10.5 minutes.
So Seb Parker to bring the ball in. He plays onto himself, takes on Seebeck, kicks it long, looking for to Talbot. He had the long option for Widmer, and he ignored that and found Talbot nicely. Talbot hugs the wing. But Keating for the Eagles takes a strong mark. Plays on straight away to Kalupas. Kalupas inside 50. Richardson will come across the front of the pack. He just trips over in the heavy conditions there. He backs up though well. Gets it out nicely to Talbot. He's a left footer. He's looking for that left foot. He finds it now. That's a beautiful kick towards Jones. But Goodrum just gets in there nicely with courage and knocks it over the boundary line.
As you said, Billy, courage, and he's the epitome of it for the Eagles. One of the one younger than him, Timmy Keir, and I'll tell you what, they're both pretty courageous, but I give Goodrum the award in the nose there.
So Lang for the Demons in the ruck. Keating for the Eagles. Comes down, picked up nicely by Charleston, the former Werribee player in the VFL. Kicked forward by Pennant Hills. Just stops on the spot. McNamara paddling away for it. Keane picks it up one-handed. That was beautiful. Comes in now to Lane Spencer. Setford and Pearson knocks it over for another boundary throw-in.
Some good wet weather skills on display to start with. Lots of one-touch. Pick up off the ground. Ball already a bit of soap, but they're doing a really good job controlling it.
No need to panic for Pennant Hills, although they haven't scored in the attacking's been with the Eagles in the opening term. It's forward of centre wing, throwing close to the line. Robinson sees it over for the Eagles. Same position, throwing once more. We've gone 12 minutes right on, 1-2-8 the Eagles. Pennant Hills yet to score.
Interesting, Dan, that the Eagles decided to play two more experienced players this week in Merkel and Fitton, two bigger bodies, and left out a couple of the younger kids.
Good idea. I think they knew the rain was on its way, so they want that body pressure over the top of the footy to give them that advantage.
Spencer tried the big tap, missed it. Talbot at ground level likewise, and eventually over the line with Keane and Talbot. And we've got to throw in again.
The other thing, Billy, we know they've got some great young talent across this side. They've had four youngsters involved with the Rising Star nomination. Only one not playing today, who fronted up in the reserve grade in Alex Goodall.
Spencer tapped it only as far as Goodrum, wrapped up in a double tackle there by Talbot, and also his teammate Delaquila could have been in there. We're going to bounce on just forward of centre wing. Pennant Hills trying to push forward. They trail 1-2-8. Eagles are in front. Pennant Hills yet to score.
One down by the Demons. Quick kick forward from Seth and tracks towards the line. And we'll have another boundary throw in. It looks like these boundary umpires will get just as much use as the rest of them did during the day.
The other interesting one on selection, Dan, was with Merkel coming in and McLeod going out for the Eagles. The two of them are best mates. So it was a bit of pill. They've both played over 300 games together since the juniors. So it was an interesting selection dilemma for the Eagles.
At least you've got two teams playing today, which makes it a little bit softer than what it normally would be.
So another boundary throw in to result. Ball tracked straight back towards the line. East Coast Eagles leading by 8 points. We've played 13.5 minutes in this first quarter. Spencer won it down, taken by Charlie Richardson, kicks inside 50, back with the flight, good Mark Ritchie, gave the hand pass off to Pearson, brings it back towards centre wing, and taken by Physic, who's been quite good in the first half of this first term. Ball to ground level at half forward now. Richardson couldn't get through. Hand pass came out the back. Parker dived on it. Then Clark gathered, got dragged away by Oliver. No free kick. Potter went back to Richardson. Alistair, he kicked in towards centre half back. But Physic is in the road and he takes it again for the Eagles. Moves it on quickly, looking for Seebeck at the back. Had to go the fist. Quick kick goes out of the pack. Almost the mark. Kalupas couldn't quite. Goody makes a solid tackle on Jones, and away goes Physic. He was smothered. Off the ground again, smothered again by Clark this time. Handball misses the target in Carey, gathered by Vlatko. He goes over the top, Goodrum, swings onto the right boot, snaps up towards full forward. Again, two to beat. Seebeck does the roving snap on goal, and it's just across the face and through for his second behind of this first quarter. Who would have thought Seebeck would get down there, Dan?
Yeah, it's not often you see him scrounging around in the spot that Spyth or Timmy Keir would normally be. We haven't seen the little fella up there yet. I reckon he'll have a good presence in there the way this ball that's going to start to really skid across the ground. It's going to hit the deck a lot, so they're going to be two important players.
So Parker tries to play on. Seebeck comes across for the smother, just misses it. Nice kick out towards Lang. Good spoil by his Eagles opponent in Oliver. Now it's Smythe. He's normally pretty clever. He's got a good boot on him. Goes onto the left, just comes off the side of the boot as he's tackled as he kicked it. Good play there by Pennant Hills. Looked like Keane just got his hand under the ball. It was wobbling around in the breeze, and he did well to get it over the boundary line.
Just attacking really well at the moment, the Eagles. Plenty of body on the ball. They've got the Pennant Hills boys just at the moment. They've got them a little bit nervous with this start. Plenty of attack.
It's a bit of water on the ground there. It's been raining all night here in Sydney. Potter clears for the Demons. Goes down long. Oh, courage there by Hubble. Now Barrett goes off the ground. Over to Setford. Picks it up with one hand. Tremendous pick up. Over towards Carey again, just a finger tipper. Good shepherd by Campbell. Carey goes towards the goal square. McNamara does well for the Eagles, gets it through for one behind. The first score for Pennant Hills, and the Eagles now lead by 8 points, 16 minutes into this first quarter of the Sydney AFL Grand Final.
Pearson to bring the football back in. As the rain becoming heavier here at Henson Park, just beyond 16 minutes gone opening term. Pearson sums up the options. No leads. We'll have to kick long. It's a low kick, but it's a precise kick. Good. Kalupas got it and was off. Umpire let it go. Well done. Coming through, Robinson met heavily. Got a hand pass back to Kalupas. Out wide's Goodrum. He goes in that direction. Goodrum will be there first, although he's got two Pennant Hills players on him. Keeps his feet, then got tackled by Wayne Spencer, holding the ball. Well done. Keane tried to play on. No advantage paid, although it could have been in the end. And Lane Spencer to have it, just forward of centre wing. It's a big support crew for both sides today, but the Pennant Hills supporters making their thoughts be known right there. Sebastian is inside of him, Sebastian Parker, one of his two co-captains. But Lane Spencer to set the ball up now. He sets it up 30 metres from home. It's a contest, a 3-on-3. Goodrum, ground level, hurried kick. Comes beyond. Oh, well done. Solidly met there was Charlie Richardson. Got back straight to his feet. Good work as Kalupas grabbed it. Kick. Sebastian Parker does well. Parker gathers, goes over the top. Well done. Great work there. Good palm down Jason Clark to a teammate. Releases Charlie Richardson. Releases Keane. Inside 50 with a pass. Has to be precise. It's not. Over the back, weight of numbers with the Eagles. Won't be able to clear it because it's a big pole on there. Stacks on the mill if you like. And we've got to bounce inside forward 50. Exciting stuff to start the 2006 Grand Final.
Lights belatedly on, Dan.
Yes, they're starting to come on. We're going to need a bit of that light at the moment. That rain's very thick and fast at the...
I think it should have been on about an hour ago. Ball deep in the forward pocket. Barrett gets a snap on goals. Going to be close. Just misses across the face as the rain comes straight into the commentary box at 90-degree angles.
Actually hit the post, guys.
Over the top there, so the ball to be brought back in and cleared by Pearson. Goes long, that's a big kick into conditions. Bouncing ball to the wing, gathered by Goody. Hand pass over the top, releases Vlatko. He goes through, got cleaned up as he kicked it. Ball down towards half forward. Widmer led Seebeck to the ball. Big Gus couldn't quite turn quick enough to get back for that, and it's over for a boundary throw in.
Well, you can see how quickly there the Eagles were able to take it from one end to the other. So despite the appalling conditions here at the moment, the skills of both sides still on show. There's those lights just coming on. Falls over towards the back. Dangerous for Pennant Hills. Umpire's found a free kick. It'll go to Physic for a push in the back against Potter. He led into the ball. Slippery conditions. Always good to be in front, Dan.
Absolutely. We saw that in the reserve grade game. There wasn't many goals scored. The Eagles kept the 3-goal lead for a fair bit of the game, and they could just never peg it back. Every goal counts for about 3 or 4 in these conditions.
So Ben Physic His father is the president of the East Coast Eagles. He was at Borkham Hills Juniors, played over 200 games for both clubs, the Borkham Hills side and the East Coast Eagles. Played in Glenelg for a couple of seasons in the Sandful. Kicks on its way. He loves it. That's the Eagles' second.
And we are officially getting saturated as Ben Physic kicks 2 goals early on. There's a whistle. There'll be a blood rule signal here.
Physic will be coming off. It was obviously part of that high tackle or push in the back.
It's good that he was allowed to take his kick though before he got sent to the boundary line.
The umpire obviously didn't spot it because otherwise he wouldn't have been able to take his kick. So on comes that Timmy Keir. He's getting an opportunity here, Dan, much to your delight.
Love him. He's a great little player, only 16 years of age. Heart bigger than Firelap. He's a sensational young kid.
Well, he replaces a man that's already kicked 2 goals for the match, and he's got the first 2 of the Eagles. They lead it, and the ball comes through the middle of the ground. It goes towards forward 50 for Pennant Hills. They need to get something going because these conditions can ill afford to get too far behind. Kalupas now almost got the handball from Charleston, bounced off Kalupas' chest. He's been prominent early. There's players around the ball. Quick hurried kick inside forward 50 for Pennant Hills. Meeting the ball kindly, tapped off the ground, Setford. Inside 50, Blackco coming through, showing leadership there. Making sure that Barrett or none of his teammates could get the footy. And we've got a boundary throw in.
My question, boys, how incredibly important is that first goal to East Coast, followed up by a second to get them in front? They were a bit nervous again the second semi-final.
It'll definitely settle, no doubt about that, Dan. Charlie Richardson kicked it to 20 metres out from goal. Then Setford tried to go off the ground only as far as his opposition number. It eventually comes out wide. Charleston from behind of Keane. Keane won the footy, ended up getting it behind Charleston. Fed it back Talbot. Almost lost the slippery, greasy footy towards half forward. Coming through, free kick. Eagles could have been, it wasn't. Lane Spencer lays a heavy tackle over the top there. Also Nick Potter. We've got a bounce. We've got a free kick to Nick Potter. That's what's going to happen in these conditions. Get to the footy first and you'll get a free kick. He kicks to forward 50. It's a good pass and good courage shown to take the mark on forward 50. And a shot at goal for the Pennant Hills boys. It was a good build-up and Richardson the opportunity to kick from 50 metres out.
So Richardson played in the 2000 Premiership for Pennant Hills. An experienced player, was actually the Sydney AFL Rep Player of the Year this year. And he's normally a beautiful kick.
It'll need to be a beautiful kick. They trail on the board at the moment. He can kick their first goal of the afternoon. It'll have to be a long, accurate one. It's a long one, and it's right to the line. It was accurate. It just quite didn't get the distance, and it's over the line for a rush behind.
Not a bad effort there from Richardson. This breeze has kicked up dramatically, but it's more coming straight across the ground from the far side to our side.
Pearson brings it back into play, short. Almost the mark, not quite. Ball tapped back into play. Charging through the line was Hubble. Kicks it down towards the centre of the ground. Almost the mark for Clark, not quite paid. And right in the centre circle, it's wrapped up. Holding the ball, says umpire Frank. And the free kick will go to Jason Clark. Moves it on quickly to Richardson. Hand pass over the top. Ball comes back in. Solid tackle laid again. Umpire looks to possibly play another one. No, Talbot hacks it out wide. Richardson off the ground. Richie gets back there. Hand pass back across. Matt Carey gets a kick on the boot. Goes down towards half forward. Gathered though by McRedmond. He'll bring it back into the centre of the ground. Strong mark taken here by Ryder. Moves it on quickly. Down towards half forward it goes. Gives an opportunity for Goody. Kick on goal. How will it bounce? Wrong side. Through for one behind as the siren sounds for quarter time. It went 23 and a half minutes. And considering the conditions, a high standard first quarter. The East Coast Eagles lead it by 13 points. 2 goals for 16. Pennant Hills, 3 behinds. Both goals so far kicked by Ben Physic. So we just heard the siren to start the second quarter a couple of minutes early. They don't want to hang around in huddles for too long. Just get back out there and get on with it. Hubble couldn't get clear. Ryder tries to go through, can't get there. It was Ryder, in fact. Ball on ground level. Robinson tries to get clear, got a little kick away, only went as far as Jones, kicks inside forward 50. Pearson back with the flight. That's not a bad mark considering how wet it is. He kicks it long towards centre wing. Bit of holding going on there. Umpire, fair enough, lets it go. Flatco picked it up anyway. Little chip kick up and under, goes out towards the wing. Robinson lost the ball after almost he'd marked it. Coming onto it is Goodrum, can't get clear, and the ball is fired over the boundary line for a throw in. You can tell how waterlogged the ground is, the rain just making those puddles appear again, as you can see on your screen. Ryder won it down, quick kick came out of the pack from Delaquila. Towards centre wing it goes, hacked off the ground there by Wright. Barrett picked it up and kicked inside 50. Peter Carey took the mark. He's got Matt Carey, had a couple of metres, couldn't get around to him quickly enough. The lead is ignored, and now Peter Carey will go back, you'd think, and line up for goal.
Well, he's kicked 28 goals this season. He's played most of his career as a wingman, also played at that 2000 Premiership side. He's gone down forward this year and played very well.
Peter Carey's kick on goal is going to land in the square, fly at the back. Spencer couldn't quite take the mark, and it's quickly rushed through for a behind to the Pennant Hills Demons, their fourth of the day.
Yeah, well, Entwistle there was very quick to get back on the ball and just shuffle it through for a behind. So it'll be Pearson to kick back in for the Eagles. He's taking his time. Umpire Kalasic now tells him to play on. Oh, it's a poor kick. He finds Jones. Fortuitous for the Demons, and he'll line up from only 30 metres out.
Jones really needs to go back and kick this for Pennant Hills. They've had 4 opportunities so far, all for behinds. They need to get this one just to give them that little bit of a build and make sure that they stick with the East Coast Eagles.
So Sean Jones kicked 10 goals for the season. There's his 11th. Pennant Hills are on the board. We've played 3 minutes in the second quarter.
Very important, that one for Pennant Hills. It came from an Eagles mistake. Cuts the margin to 1 straight kick, Dan. And if they can come back and boot the next one, they're right back into the game, despite being pretty well outplayed so far.
Yes, I think they're lucky to be as close as they are at the moment, but good contest.
Nathan Lessels restarts things centre of the ground. Ideal for Pennant Hills, as the boys said a few moments ago. Eagles trying to propel the ball forward. Ryder, one of those. Nick Potter went in. Had a good opening turn for Pennant Hills. Now with Barrett, good mark, chest mark, close to the ground. Kicks from 80 metres out. Inside now 30 metres out. It's not a great kick. McNamara gets back. Hurries the play on quickly, and that's the good thing to do because Merkel is out wide. Gets the ball and kicks left boot. Ryder will mark. Got the ball on true centre wing. Goodrum running by him, ignored momentarily, then for good. In front of Goodrum. Goodrum can mark and go. He will. Runs from Potter. 2 of the best on so far. Left foot pass is okay. It's inside 50. Keir, no. Hand pass to Vlatko. Left boot kick. Great vision, Smythe. Great vision, Vlatko. Leadership quality there. And Smythe has taken the mark 30 metres out and shot on goal for the Eagles.
Well, Ben Physic again involved. He was the one that picked up that loose ball, got it back to Vlatko, and Vlatko, as you said, Steve, that was just fantastic vision.
Yeah, they're making sure they've got their head screwed on at the moment, the Eagles. They're not nervous. They're making sure they play to their advantage and they're just not spraying their opportunities.
No time wasted to Smythe, and his kick into the man on the mark. Maybe should have taken more time. No maybes about it. The ball at ground level. Well done, Parker, to come through. Provide a contest, out of bounds, throw in. We sit 15 metres around. Pennant Hills have the opening goal of this term, but East Coast Eagles now are attacking as the rain becomes heavier here at Henson Park. Seebeck took front position, couldn't quite get a decisive tap on it, came out, Physic again to Goody. Goody's got the ball, controls and almost slipped through his greasy fingers. Hand pass to a teammate, back in board. This is Kalupas, great tackle on him. Fantastic tackle by Jason Clark, ball up on the 50-metre arc. East Coast Eagles are attacking.
So tight in there as umpire Elliott sets himself for the ball up. The Eagles lead it by 1 straight kick. Pouring rain at Henson Park. Solid tackle was that in the back. Umpire said play on, and we will see another ball up. I'm sure we'll get plenty of those as the game wears on. Goodrum was at the bottom of that pack. Umpire puts it up again. Frauenfelder thumps it down. Outside 50 it goes. Matt Carey tried to toe poke it. Coming through with a solid bump there was McNamara. And there is a whistle. And umpire Lessels will come in and ball it up. Waste no time doing just that. Frauenfelder thumps it forward again. Could have been a free kick to Eddie and is. He was held without the ball. and will take the free kick. Umpire Lessel's paying that. So Rob Eddy, just on the defensive side of centre, kicks it long inside forward 50. The fly came from right, couldn't drag down the mark. At the back, Spencer, shot on goal, back of the pack.
Mark or free kick.
Mark or free kick, anything you want to pay, it's Barrett. And he just got one to go on with. In fact, it's not Barrett out the side. It is Nick Campbell who has taken the mark. And he should level the scores from 15 metres out straight in front.
He's only 17 years of age. Been very good for them this year.
Nick Campbell's kick, low and straight, and scores a level in the grand final at Henson Park.
They'll get the momentum up now, Dan, and it's all important in any type of footy that you get momentum.
Yeah, momentum's a great thing, mate. Looks like there's a fair bit of advantage going to the left of screen, definitely the scoring end at the moment. So we'll have to see how the East Coast Eagles respond.
Well, it's interesting there. Barrett actually took the mark. Campbell got the free kick off the side of the pack against his opponent, Entwistle. So we have played 7 minutes of this second quarter. Sydney AFL Grand Final. It's all tied up. East Coast Eagles kicked the first 2 goals. Pennant Hills have kicked the last 2. All comes to ground. Fed out by Jones. Off the ground. Now to Barrett. McRedmond. Good tackle on him. Kalupis over to Pearson. Into McNamara. There was some experience there. So McNamara tries to build something. He's got Goody on his own in the centre of the ground. He finds him with a very, very nice kick. He plays for the free kick. It wasn't there. Hubble now running for him. He's got a paddock to come into. Seebeck's on a long lead. He ignores him. Tucks back inside. Oh, Seebeck still worked his way well to the front of the pack. 2-on-1. Clark gets it out to Widmar for Pennant Hills. Ball to ground. Bodies in willy-nilly. East Coast Eagles appealing for a free kick. Umpire disagreed, and he'll throw it up only 35 metres out from the East Coast Eagles goal.
Massive amounts of pressure being applied out there.
Ground showing the wear of a long, long season of both rugby and football being played on it, and it's close to the line. It bounces in the water and eventually over the line and out of bounds for a throw-in.
Probably takes us back a few years. I think it was it St George and North Shore, Billy, that played out the epic hail battle?
Yes, I think it was.
Predicted 16 today with possible hailstorm later on, so let's hope for the players we don't get that, but it could make things all that more interesting. Riders slid on the ground, expected someone to tackle, they didn't. Vlatko, fresh air shot. Pennant Hills inside forward 50, bounces kindly to the back of the pack. Pearson first there, good defence. Is that deliberate? Is that deliberate? It is! Free kick, Pennant Hills. Well, if he finds the points, it's okay. I think that's what his intention was, but it has missed and it's out of bounds.
Well, by the letter of the law, it is there, but in the grand final in these conditions, that is a very, very tough decision.
Well, Nick Campbell's got an opportunity to kick 2 inside a couple of minutes and give Pennant Hills the lead. In fact, as long as he scores, Pennant Hills will be in front because they're locked at a deadlock 2-4 apiece at the moment. Hard up against the boundary line, tough kick. Nick Campbell hits the post. Well, a fine effort. It only had to go 4 inches or so to the left and it was a goal. But he puts Pennant Hills in front, 2-5-17. East Coast Eagles, 2-4-16. We've gone 9.5 second term.
We've got some very experienced umpires out here, two good young umpires in Elliott and also Lascelles, and umpire Kolasic has umpired over 300 games, and this is his first grand final since '99. Very, very experienced, and let's hope that they have a great game here and let the players just battle it out.
One thing we haven't mentioned, I suppose, the premiership history for these two sides. It was Pennant Hills that have won their one and only in 2000. For the East Coast Eagles, they're still trying to crack it in the Premier Division. Have had some victories in the SFA, the Football Association, but not in the top grade as yet.
Another ball up to be called by umpire Kalasic. And he calls his position, puts it up in the air. Spencer beat Pearson on that occasion. Most to clear possession for the Demons, not quite. Eddie tries to get it clear, can't do so. Solid tackle laid there. The umpire will eventually have to come in and ball it up once more. It's about 45 metres out from the Pennant Hills goal. They lead it by 1 point after a solid fight back in this quarter. Spencer won it down. Quick kick out of the pack, goes towards the top of the square. Bouncing ball, Peter Carey. Can he keep it in? No. And we'll have a throw in.
Well, I've been very impressed with Pennant Hills this quarter. The first quarter it was East Coast Eagles leading the opposition to the ball. This quarter I think Pennant Hills have clearly led the East Coast to the ball.
One down by Spencer. Quick kick goes nowhere. Falls to Richie. He tumbles it down to centre wing. Charlie Richardson just on the ground. Couldn't gather. Quick off the ground goes from Oliver. And the boundary line will win again. And at least the boundary umpires, for all their running, get plenty to do on a day like today.
Well, they do. He didn't want to pay that one deliberately out of bounds on the full. Deliberately out of bounds, I mean, because it wasn't near the goalposts. Down there by Goodrum, getting a knockout. Parker, a fresh air shot. Back towards Delaquila, but kicked off the side of the boot under pressure from Oliver, and a free kick will go to Vlatko, the captain of the East Coast Eagles. So Vlatko's right on centre wing. Barrett standing the mark. Kicks down the line. Charleston's there. Smythe trying to rove it. Picks it up well. Kicks it inside 50. Looking for Seebeck. The one-hander, the two-hander. There it is. Big Gus taking the mark.
He's very strong up there. You've really got to make sure you get in front of him. He can get a hand on that footy. He's a good juggler too, as we just saw there from Big Gus. These conditions aren't really that suitable for him. He's a big, tall marking forward, but he's working extremely hard at the moment to try and give his team an advantage.
Well, that's a good sign for him. You can normally tell early on in the game whether he's on or he's off with his marking, and that was clearly a fantastic effort, one-on-one against Widmar.
Won the goal kicking this year. He amounted, it's about in the early 60s.
I think it was, yeah, 64.
So he's kicked one behind today to date. Kicks on its way from Seebeck. It's a beauty. East Coast Eagles are back out by 5 points.
That's the most excited I've seen Gus after he's hit the goal all year. Fair dinkum.
Yeah, it's pretty true, and I think that just shows the heartfelt want that these boys have to get over the line and break their hoodoo as far as premierships are concerned.
Well, he came down to the club in 2001, did Seebeck, and has probably played between 80 and 100 games in the last 5 years, and to have a Sandover medalist playing in this competition is a great thing.
Ryder jumped up in the ruck, didn't win it down, tapped it eventually to Kalupas, sold the dummy twice in fact, and then fed off to a teammate. So through the middle they go. The Eagles work towards half forward with the kick, coming out trying to get it here. He went to ground level, in fact Physic over the ball. Charleston does well for the Eagles to lend support to his teammate, and there is a free kick push in the back. It is Frank Palazic to come in, get the free kick to Jones or Richardson. And off the ball, Physic goes down. Parker gave him one to go on with, but the umpire's not falling for the old 3-card trick. So takes Alistair Richardson up towards centre wing beyond. And he can put Pennant Hills. Well, he's given him a fair 50, hasn't he?
He's gone from 150-metre arc to the other.
His kick with his left boot will go, land about 25 metres from goal. It'll clear the first pack. It doesn't clear the second pack. Comes down, Pearson bounced off his chest. Good effort, Pearson, to apply a tackle immediately afterwards. Bounced 25 metres out from Pennant Hills' goal. They lead it. They trail, 22-17. Gus giving the Eagles back the lead after they lost it for a few moments. We've gone 14 minutes in this second term. The rain's still coming towards the commentary side of the ground. Ryder in there too, trying to do the roving work. A couple of players around. Also, is it Vlatko in there? And we've got a bounce. Lane Spencer will give it back to the umpire. We still sit 25 metres out from Pennant Hills' goal.
Umpire puts it up in the air, one down by Ryder. And wrapped up again very quickly. Finally squirted out the back. Dodges, weaves, snap on goal across the face. And through for a behind by Clint Sedford. He's good at putting those accurately, but unfortunately couldn't get enough bend back on that occasion. So the margin back to 4 points. Vlatko goes short to the outer pocket, where the mark is taken by Hubble. Holding it up as the packs converge out there in front of him. Travis Hubble gets the hurry up now and decides to go very short. Finds Pearson. Still inside defensive 50 for the East Coast Eagles. He goes long down towards centre wing. Front spot. That was only ever going to be marked by one player. It was Rob Eddy. He brings it back to where it came. Bouncing ball. Can he get get back? He does. McRedmond, and knocks it through for one behind. Amazing how one kick can overturn what happened from 3 kicks from the East Coast Eagles trying to come out of defence.
So we've played 15 and a half minutes of this Sydney AFL 2006 Grand Final. The margin is 3 points in favour of the East Coast Eagles, 3-4 to 2-7. Pennant Hills have certainly had most of the play this quarter. In fact, they've kicked 2 goals, 4 to 1 straight goal. Charlie Richardson picks it up. He runs in looking for the 3rd goal for them, and there it is. The Pennant Hills Demons are back, 3 points in front.
Great opportunistic goal there, wasn't it, Dan?
Absolutely, and there's a bit of heart felt in the middle of that pile as well.
There can be another kick here too. The ball doesn't have to go back to the centre. Be careful, East Coast.
You can just see the celebration with every single goal that's come in this game. They're absolutely huge. It's like there's 5 minutes left in the game. Every kick, every goal gets them a point in front.
It's what makes this game far and above any other sport in the world. It's great to see both sides wanting it more than anything. Goody gets the ball going forward, had a great season from him. Alistair Richardson lifting his side, being sensational in this first half towards the boundary line. Eagles pick the ball up, comes back. This is now sits with Kalupis, kicks the ball, runner up in the field and medal only as far as his opponent in Parker. Blair Oliver later tackle. Was it high? It wasn't. It wasn't, and we've got a bounce on forward 50 for the Eagles. Great game, 22-25, 3 points in favour of Pennant Hills. It's to and fro at the moment. It's goal for goal. Parker, hurried kick, Vlatko, courage, dropped it at the last minute, showed great courage and then dropped it, and eventually Robinson is slid over the line with the ball. We've got to throw in forward of centre wing for the Eagles.
Interesting one out there, Dan, that Fitton's come on and he's actually tagging Alistair Richardson on the wing.
Yeah, it's interesting. I suppose you've got to make sure when you've got somebody on the ropes, you've got to make sure you hang on to it. And he's an important player for them to try and get an assailants on.
Nick Potter and Matt Carey just back on the field for the Demons. A couple of changes there. You've got to keep changing them on a day like today. Quick kick came out of the pack. Down towards centre wing it goes. Trying to get clear, Robinson got it out wide to McNamara. He brought it inboard to Kalupis. Haven't seen a lot of him just yet. Robinson, he's caught. He took him on. He's in trouble, I think. Ball slipped out the back and ends up in the hands of Pearson. Heard a voice and kicked it out towards the flank. Missed his target in Vlatko, and the ball falls over the line for a boundary throw-in. 3-7-25 Pennant Hills, 3-4-22 East Coast Eagles. We're pushing up towards the 20-minute mark of this second quarter. One down there by Keating. Richardson, Charlie was caught, tumbles the kick, goes towards the line, and over for a throw-in.
I believe we have to go back. So 2006 was a good year for the Eagles, but Pennant Hills really had the wood over them for the 3 years previous. But if we look back, interesting stat, back in round 13, 2002, the last East Coast Eagles win was coached by our own A. Baxter.
Must have been my co-coach Gus Seebeck, who's out there today, that probably provided most of the impetus that day. Over towards Richardson, tackled high, was he? No, says the umpire. Ball still under there. He'll come in and restart play.
But it's great. Look, you love seeing local derbies and grand finals. So much, all the passion that comes along with it, just turns out to make the recipe for a fantastic game.
So Charleston over the ball, Setford drags him off. Merkel, now it's Vlatko in there, as is Setford, gets it back to Charlie Richardson, who kicked that goal a couple of minutes ago. Umpire plucked out a free kick for a tackle too high against Goodrum, and it'll go to Charlie Richardson. He's had a very good quarter, in fact a good half of football has Richardson. In the middle of the ground, Moratis was just screaming for it, he ignored it, goes down the middle. Oh, they all fall over. Eddie is in there. Comes down to Hubble, back to Pearson. Pearson gets a left foot kick away. Foot races on. Kalupis, good shepherding by Keir in front of him. Barrett charges onto it. Now Keir. Can he get round Fraunfelder? The tallest and smallest on the ground. Good play there by Moratis. Gets it back to Jones. Inside 50, but just parked there underneath. This is Charleston, and he'll redirect football for the Eagles out of defence.
Looked broadcast side and then decided the better of it. And chipped across goal to Robinson. Robinson in turn a 20-metre kick, didn't go 20 metres, went straight on the man on the mark in fact, and it was chopped off and taken inside 50 for Pennant Hills. There's a chance, Barrett! Missed across the face, Matt Carey rather, thanks Bill. And he's missed from point blank range. He had a bit more time. His opponent fell over, and we know how dangerous Matt is. And a minor score. So Penno go clear by 4 points, 3-8-26, 3-4-22. We've gone beyond 20 minutes, about 20 and a half gone in this second term as Pearson gives the ball back to Vlatko, and then he will start play to Pearson. So Pearson in the right back pocket. He's kicked towards centre wing broadcast side. Fromfelder does well. Got rid of his opponent and then took a good mark. He looks up now. He looks to do a penetrating kick. Lead comes Matt Carey and Barrett. Ignored both. Kick eventually to Matt Carey. It fell that way anyway. Charleston overran it. Fitton there too for the Eagles. Is that holding the ball? It is! Free kick to the Eagles over the football there. Nick Potter, bad luck. Had a couple set upon him. And like a hen hatching an egg. And the ball's going to come, chicken hatching an egg, and it's going to come this side, and Vlatko with it. So Vlatko looks upfield. A couple of leads offered, one by Oliver, ignored. Told to play on now, so he's going to have to kick long, no other option. Kick in that area, Goodrum, one of the smallest, sees it over the line and out of bounds on the full. Free kick, Pennant Hills will come back the other way. Alistair Richardson will take it. No, in fact, Sean Jones? Yes, it'll be Alistair Richardson. No, Sean Jones, blood rule.
Plenty of blood there too for Alistair Richardson as Jones kicks towards half forward. Vlatko didn't get the favourable bounce. Carey tries to come through. It's Keane, in fact. He goes again. Charlie Richardson athletically over the top. Keane hand passes back towards forward 50. Sentford tried to go off the ground, couldn't gather. And the ball has just been tapped straight over the line by the Demons player. And I tell you what, if that was in defensive 50, that would have been paid for sure.
No, well, in fairness,
eyesight there.
Umpire was blindsided, guys, in fairness. Got to stick up for him.
So ball back into play right on the 50-metre arc for Pennant Hills. They've had a great quarter. Goodrum over to McNamara. Just took his eyes off the ball slightly. Frauenfelder. Tunnel ball back to Spencer. Good kick. Who's there? It's Matt Carey. Good punch away by Entwistle. Now Pearson. Pearson looking for Vlatko. Just slipped off the side of his hand. Out of bounds and another boundary throw. And we have played about 23 minutes of this second quarter in the Sydney AFL Grand Final. Pennant Hills are out by 4 points. 3-8-26 to 3-4-22. They're looking for another goal here late in the quarter. Keating gets a good punch away. High tackle to Potter is the call against Hubble. So Nick Potter, the former Sydney Swans rookie list player, he plays on while they're all arguing with the umpire. Kicks into the square. It's a high ball. McNamara's got to get himself to the front, as does Robinson. It's a tug of war. Could be a try. No, it's not. Umpire Kalasic says, I'll throw it back up right in the goal square for Pennant Hills. Joel Keating really needs to just thump this over the line. Pearson does so instead.
Tell you what, Pennant Hills have really got the assailants in this quarter. They've been working the football well. Just can't quite get the score on the scoreboard. East Coast struggling when it comes to about that centre of the ground. They're really struggling to get it over that advantage line and move it into their 50. Pennant Hills doing a good job to return fire.
Wouldn't be the first time they've been challenged this year, although being undefeated, the Eagles, but they've been challenged in the big one in the year. Travis Hubble, kick to the centre, Lux of Fortune, it's going to bounce Kylie Merkel, kick inside 50, Siren beats Seebeck to the ball. And it ends an entertaining first half. Pennant Hills in front. The Underdogs lead it by 5 points, 3-4-22 to 3-9-27. Mouth-watering contest. Bring on the second half, boys. Dan? So we're set to go. Joel Elliott, umpire Joel Elliott will restart things, just making sure everything's okay down both ends, waiting for the goal umpire to get in position. The score 3-4-22, 3-9-27, 5 points in the 2006 Grand Final. It's the Underdogs leading it. Pennant Hills Demons. Here we go, second half from Henson Park. We're going to get a brilliant finish. Here we go. Joel Elliott straight up with the ball. He does now. Ryder will jump against Fromfelder. Ryder wins it down like he has all day. Nick Potter grabbed it. Went through. Talbot there too. Ryder roves his own football. Couple of players around the pill. And eventually we got a tied up ball and another bounce. We do now. Ryder appeals for holding the ball. Nothing doing. We've got a bounce when we're inside the opening 30 seconds of play in the second half.
So umpire Ryder, umpire Elliott, in fact, restarts quickly. Frauenfelder won it down that time. Out the back was Barrett, couldn't get it clear. Solid tackle laid on Vlatko. He's on top of the football. The umpire says, give it to me and I'll ball it up.
We start the feeling out process once again. there's going to be plenty of in and under contest trying to get that break free at the moment.
So Ryder, but Frauenfelder wins it again, 3 in a row. Kalupos dived onto the footy, push in the back was called. Looked like he hurt himself slightly. So Kalupos, recruited from Newcastle via St George last season, goes the torp. He just outside 50. Delaquila comes down to Smythe, kick smothered beautifully. Now out towards Goodrum. Goodrum back to Smythe. Smythe snaps it towards Seaback. Goes the one-hander. Beautifully done by Widmar though. He recovered well. Keen under the ball. Vlatko knocks it down. Delaquila to clear for the Demons.
Delaquila does clear towards centre wing, 2 wide, out on the full. Free kick to be taken by the Eagles. And it'll go the way of Mick Redman. He's got the ball forward of centre wing, Barrett to stand the mark. We've gone a minute and a half inside this term, inside 50. Fisick got behind because Alice Sarichin worked to the front. Delaquila tackled, holding the ball. No, Goodrum tried to go over the top of Potter, didn't do so. What a ding-dong battle they've had. Then Oliver grabbed it, gave to Fisick, ducked the head. Fromfelder did well not to go high. Merkel there too, eventually spills out on the boot by Barrett. Kick forward, can't quite get it, and the mark has been taken. In fact, it wasn't by Barrett, it was Setford. The Eagles with Hubble at half-back.
Ankle problem for Delaquila at half. Back for Pennant Hills. He's going to try and run it out. The kick was good and the mark taken by Oliver. Being quiet so far today, Blair Oliver. Sets it up towards forward 50. Poor kick. And an easy mark has been taken by Mick Talbot. He goes short around the boundary line and out of bounds on the full. And the ball will be brought back in again by the East Coast Eagles. Blair Oliver to take the kick.
So it'll be Oliver. Charleston was shaking his head there about that poor kick, but really players out here for both sides just need to get in front in these conditions. So Charleston on a long lead now. Kick goes in front, falls short, and Vlatko takes the mark. So Vlatko went to school and played with Pavlich and Fosdyke, couple of handy players he grew up with. Kick inside 50. Seaback, does well. Just pure strength by Gus Seaback. Takes the mark for the Eagles. Can he put them in front by a point, having played 4.5 minutes of this final half of the season?
Such a very important kick for Gus. We've said they're very few and far between the opportunities in games like this. You've really got to make the most of them. Gus needs to go back, slot this one through. It was a good effort. Playing on Widmar. Widmar's doing a good job, but in that case, he was managed to give him just too much strength from Gus, push Widmar off the ball, puts him in a situation to get them in the lead.
He's kicked 1 goal to date. Well, that is poor. Goes across the face of goal, and a nice mark taken by Shepherd.
So, you wouldn't have believed that. You would not read about it unless you looked in a book. So Pennant Hills from defence, kick, great mark. Solid mark taken there, Robinson. He's got the ball inside forward 50. He looks laterally, has Kalupis, wanted to go and then said no. Nick Potter was on your hammer, so Kalupis does the right thing, runs beyond 50, provides space. But the shot to come now, Robinson, kick on goal, won't be a goal, it's close, it's out of bounds on the full. Close in terms of close to the point. And the free kick to be taken by Pennant Hills, and that'll be taken by Sebastian Parker, the captain, in the left back pocket.
So Seb Parker, the wall has been quickly set up. He needs to find something. There's not much to kick to. He could go to Widmer. He decides to go to the contest. Barrett almost dragged down what would have been a good mark. Falls out the back, kicked away by Talbot. Down towards centre wing. Bootlace's job there for the Eagles player. Out the back it goes. Great football. Running away, Frauenfelder kicks it towards centre half forward. Almost the mark taken. Umpire says play on. Barrett got unloaded too high.
There's another interesting one. Umpire Kalasic was right on that play, and umpire Lascelles came in from about 40 minutes and paid it too high.
So Barrett to take it. He's too far out to score there. He'll be 60 metres when he kicks it. Looks for someone to kick it to. Finally decides to spear it into the pocket. Umpire says play on. Demon went for the free kick. On ground level, falls out the back. Charlie Richardson shot on goal at the back, almost the mark. Snap out of there from Matt Carey. Just misses to the near side and through for a behind.
Matt Carey's extremely dangerous around goal. He's a good goal sneak. Been playing more of a mobile role for them this year. Been one of their big improvers, played in every game.
So Pearson to kick out of the quagmire. We've played 7 minutes of this third quarter. The Sydney AFL Grand Final. Pennant Hills out by 6 behinds. Comes to Ryder over the back. Now Fisick, who was dynamic in the first quarter. Chip pass in and finds Oliver was a nice kick. So Oliver outside 50. He's got Seebeck one-on-one. A poor kick though across the face of goal. Spencer drops what he should have taken. Seebeck, Widmar butters up and kicks out of defence for the Demons.
Does well. His kick a good one too. Oh, just bounced off the head of a teammate out there who could have possibly taken it. Moratus in the middle of the ground now with the Pennant Hills boys. They surge forward. Charlie Richardson. The kick on its way 20 metres from home. Still a chance for Pennant Hills. Setford pushed in the back. Nothing doing. Umpire's way. Ball up will come now. Frank blows the whistle. We sit 35 from home for the Pennant Hills boys. 3-10, 3-4 margin, one straight kick.
Both sides, some errors at the moment. If we have a look at the East Coast Eagles coaching box, number of heads there looking how are they going to get over the line today.
One down by the Eagles. Quick kick away was poor. Mark taken by Spencer. Playing up the ground today for Pennant Hills. He'll fire it back in. He ignores a strong lead from Barrett and still ignores all the leads being given to him. He finally kicks long inside forward 50. The mark was dropped by Goody. Has to go in again. Had it dragged away from him a couple of times. Oh, Pearson gives a big don't argue and gets pinged holding the ball. Setford played on quickly, but it'll come back. And the free kick will go to Fraunfelder. A strong tackle.
Certainly was. Also behind play, Talbot down on his haunches, just ran into some traffic and didn't get up too quickly.
A little bit dizzy when he got up too. Still looking a bit wobbly there for Talbot.
In fact, the kick is not going to Fraunfelder. It is Nick Potter who lines up from 48 metres out. It goes right to the teeth of goal and a thump to the line and over for a boundary throw-in.
Some danger signs for East Coast here at the moment. Pennant Hills on the attack, doing a good job. Just transferring the football nicely into this win. They've got a good opportunity here. Need to capitalise on it.
Just see Rowan Ritchie about to come back on for the East Coast Eagles. Spencer tries a drop kick. Fairly ambitious. Comes down now to McNamara. He's got the behind post behind if he wants it. Goes long. Nice looking kick to Kalupis. Slides into the fence, does well. So Kalupis, been a great player for the Eagles this year. Played representative football for the Sydney AFL. Goes the torpedo punt. It's a wobbly kick. Fraunfelder's under it and takes a nice mark for the Demons.
Fraunfelder's got the ball smack bang on centre wing of Henson Park. Doesn't waste any time towards Barrett. Beyond him, a number of players at the back, and they're all Eagles players. Goodrum went in, went without the footy. Spilt Kalupis, clever under pressure. Goody, probably need a bit more out of him in the second half now. Fidden has it. He's got Vlatko running beside him, ignores that. Can go further afield, has options. Goes into Seebeck direction. Had two to compete with, couldn't mark. Great pressure, Pennant Hills. They've done well down back. Clark to Moradas. Kicked, slug off the football as he got rid of it. Fidden went again. Here's Parker. He'll be tracked down by Smythe, who gave away an undisciplined free kick. I thought umpire didn't see it that way. Delaquila to keep it in. He can't. And the ball, after all that, is out of bounds. Defensive side of centre wing for Pennant Hills. We've got to throw in.
Pennant Hills doing everything at the moment that they could be asked on when they're running into a hefty breeze. Sorry.
Again, we've seen a few of those today, both seconds and firsts.
Seb Parker coming to the bench. I was just going to say it was a terrific bit of courage there a minute or so ago from Parker. Seebeck streaming out into the marking contest. Parker back with the flight of the ball, got in his way, took the hit. Obviously has come off second best, but that's exactly what you do on grand final day.
Absolutely. Courage is what you need on grand finals, and you've got to make sure you get into the thick of it, and that's just an expected task of a backman, and especially of a vice captain and a long-term player with the Pennant Hills club.
So boundary throw in once Wright gets back to his position replacing Parker. Ball back into play now. It'll be Fraunfelder to win it down. Been pretty good for the Demons today. Through the centre of the ground. Kick up in the air by Robinson. Underneath it is Goody. Judged it well and took the mark, said umpire Kalajic or Kalazic. And so Mark Goody right on the outer wing. Looks to send it towards forward 50. Does so now. The target, Ben Physic. He won't end up with it. Demons with the numbers. It came out the back. Ritchie gave it off to Goodrum. Look away, handball. That was good. Fumbled in the mud. Quick kick goes towards full forward. Here's a chance for the Eagles diving in under pressure was Physic, and he's going nowhere. We'll have a ball up.
Eagles going to give them, got a bit of an opportunity here inside 50. Hang on a sec. No, just thought Gus going into the ruck for, give him a knock.
So Seebeck up in the ruck. He wins it down, goes towards Talbot. Now Seebeck rows his own knock, tries to get the ball away. He's tackled well by Delaquila and also Clark, and the ball up will result.
You see the Eagles there doing the smart thing. They've got some extra players lined up
another
across
blood
that
rule.
50.
Seebeck got some blood dripping from the elbow. Asked to come off. Might be time, Dan, to look at putting Gus up into the ruck here. They really, he's been sitting down there in the goal score. He's obviously a fantastic ruckman, and Fraunfelder, I think, has really played well in this last quarter and a half.
Free kick. Umpire Kalazic has come in from off the play while the blood rule was being given, and he's paid a free kick to Ryan Smythe.
Sean Jones, I think, was the one that gave that kick away from a long way off the ground, and all the Eagles boys are over there and letting him know all about it.
Well, Ryan Smythe, very experienced player, played in Glenelg with Ben Physic, Vlatko and Robinson, then went to Queensland, played for Zilmere, lining up for his first goal of this grand final. Kick on its way. He's put the fists in the air. There's one back to the Eagles. We're all square here in the grand final, 14 minutes into the third quarter.
Did anyone see what the free kick was for?
There was a bit of ruckus going on over that side. Obviously, Sean Jones, he can be an emotional player. And the man that's right next to him at the moment, Penn McNamara, letting him know all about it. So it's not what you want from one of your senior players when it's grand final day.
You'd hope it was warranted either way to the extreme on grand final
Yeah,
day.
ill-disciplined. You just can't let those ones slip by, especially to get the game back within an even tie.
Could that be the turning point?
Ball back in the middle of Henson Park. Great game of footy we've got. 3-10, 4-4 scores locked up 28 apiece as the Eagles work forward. This is with Hubble. Hand pass backwards. Goes defensive side of centre wing now with Charleston. He's kicked towards his teammate in Physic. Couldn't mark it. Almost thrown away it could have been there by Alistair Richardson. Umpire didn't see it that way. Barrett needed a contest. Got it. Setford gathered at ground level. Kick. Well done, Travis Hubble. Just traps it beautifully, then fumbled it. Matt Carey did enough. Barrett too. Over to Fromfelder. He gets this. Is a chance. Pearson been a linchpin in defence. Setford got rid of him. Fromfelder picked it up, fed it back. Hubble went in for a tackle on Lane Spencer. Spencer still kicked towards Charlie Richardson, in fact. It finishes with Pearson, and Pearson from defence. Eagles will kick poorly, and it'll come back the other way.
So, ball taken here by Wright, gets around one, kicks it back inside forward, 50, Barrett! And got
50.
cleaned up! This is a huge one! It has to be a 50-metre penalty.
It is, he's already called it.
Barrett took the mark, uncontested, and then had his head taken off.
By Kieran McRedmond.
Not smart at all, and he's given back any advantage that was picked up by the free kick at the other end. Justin Barrett from the goal square will put the Demons back in front.
I can tell you guys, there's a chant that's just going around the ground as we speak, and it's for the East Coast Eagles. So obviously the supporters trying to urge them on at the moment.
We saw earlier on screen the Eagles just trying a few things now. They have put Keir down to the forward line. He is dynamic, as we know.
Haven't seen much of him today, Billy.
No, he's hardly been on, so they're just going to try something a little bit different. They still seem to be working on Seebeck down there as well. So we've played 16 minutes of this third quarter. Pennant Hills back out by 6 points. Keating just trying to play soccer. Potter picks it up. Now Goody. No one really wanted it, except for umpire Elliott, and he'll throw it back up.
Well, I tell you what, 2 minutes of very ill-disciplined football from both sides gets us back to where we were originally.
Well, they might have to dig their ways out of that mug heap right in the middle of the ground. Fromfelder went up, tapped it down. Potter came through, eventually hurried forward for Pennant Hills. Charleston tracked the ball back, gets it now. Runs from teammate McRedmond away, then kicked a mongrel punt towards the outer side wing. It was fisted back by Pennant Hills. Smythe dragged off the football by Clark. Cleverly done not to give away a free. Lucks a fortune with Matt Carey. Runs around Goodrum, left boot as he slipped inside 50. It bounces at the back, a chance. Holding on could have been no. Well left by by the umpire. Eagles' weight of numbers could clear it. If they can handball it out with Hubble, he eventually does it. Finds teammate Charleston, tried to get it to Vlatko, was tackled. Umpire let all that go. Great umpiring, great grand final footy, 2006. And we've got to bounce 55 metres out, attacking goal for Pennant Hills, who lead it 34-28.
Interesting one. We've just seen Alex Fraunfelder hobble to the bench as Kalupas comes back on for McRedmond, who gave away that penalty a minute or so ago. Ball comes down, solid. Shepherd laid there by Potter, kicked back inside forward 50, bouncing ball towards the line it goes and finds its way over for a throw in. We've played 17 minutes, nearly 18 in this third quarter. The Demons lead it by 6 points. Ball back in now. One down by Spencer. Solid hit laid on Pearson, got a kick away, and it's out of bounds for a throw in.
Pennant Hills looking extremely dangerous at the moment. East Coast struggling with movement of the ball. Give themselves any opportunity. They need to capitalise in these next 5 minutes. Next quarter they're going to be running into that win, but Pennant Hills are showing us it can be done.
So Jones inside 50, well cut off by McNamara. So McNamara is called to play on. He'll have to go long. Out in front of Entwistle. The battle of the 17-year-olds out there. Nick Campbell falls over. Entwistle comes up. He's got Richie leading long and hard out wide. The kick falls a little bit short. Shepherd tries to cut it off now. He just flicks it up to Wright. Wright throws it onto his boot. That's good footy by Pennant Hills. McNamara with courage. So was Campbell. Well, umpire Elliott, let the boys play. Let them play football out here. It was courage from both players, and one of them threw his body in. Everyone was going for the footy. Shouldn't have been a free kick there.
The ball taken, Alistair Richardson now can put the ball, propel it back inside forward 50. They're playing inspired footy. Pennant Hills at the back off the ground. Goal, no, just misses across the face by Wright and extends the lead beyond the one straight kick. They lead it 4-11-35, 4-4-28. We've gone 17 and a half, third term. Great game, guys.
It has been a blistering contest. Pennant Hills holding sway at the moment. The East Coast Eagles need to find a lift from somewhere. The Demons will come home with the breeze. Charleston tries to trap it out, can't do so. And we will have a ball up. Umpire Elliott comes in, says give it to me, as Keane comes back onto the ground for the Demons.
Seebeck waiting to come on also for the Eagles there. Keating against Lang. Good smother. Lane Spencer playing well there, drags it in. Kalupos is there for the Eagles. You can see the ball just bobbling around as all players try to flick it out. Umpire letting it go, which is good. Well, there's Seebeck, just waiting for his opportunity to come back on. Ball will be thrown up by umpire Elliott. Played close to 20 minutes of this third quarter. Eagles desperate for a goal to go into this three-quarter time huddle in front. Kick away now, players fall over. Richardson attacks the ball well. Oh, Richie showed some courage right off the ground with his soccer skills. Former good soccer player, so was Fitton. He plays tunnel ball though. Which way is it going to fall? Charlie Richardson's been good for Pennant Hills all day. Wright still in there. Just going forward in inches. Rowan Ritchie comes out the back. Smythe kicks off the ground, but it's all Pennant Hills. Clark goes in for the Shepherd. Oh, he takes Keir high. Umpire Elliott sees it. I think Keir played for it a bit as well. Was silly because they had the ball and they were running free. So Tim Keir, the live wire 16-year-old for the Eagles, kicks it inside, looking for Ryder. Fitton just overruns it. Doesn't know where it's gone. Smythe's in there. Fitton gets in there now. Now comes back to Clark. Charleston picks it off. Who does he get it out to? No one in particular. Ryder charging through. Now Keir kicks it off the ground, picks it up. Can Keir do something? It's a short little kick. Goes about 1.5 meters. Richardson butters up for the Demons.
Probably should have kicked with the first option, Keir, but didn't. Eventually, Alistair Richardson puts it beyond defensive 50 for Jones. Couldn't get it. 3-on-2. Eagles with the numbers. Goody, the third man, will pick it up. Slipped the tackle from Jones, then handballed beyond him to Robinson from 50 metres out for an uplifting goal for the Eagles. You beauty, Craig Robinson. What a game. 1 point ball game. Craig Robinson goes bang from 50. Eagles 5th. They go to 5-4-34. Pennant Hills 4-11-35. We've gone 20 minutes right on third term.
He has kicked that ball 65 metres. It went through goalpost height with a wet footy.
Has to
My
be.
jaw is still hitting the ground. That was one of the longest kicks I've seen with a wet footy at the most opportune moment for a team. That was just incredible, Brendan.
That has to be one of the most inspirational goals of the season. Craig Robinson has been quiet today, and I tell you what, he's stamped himself on this match in one foul swoop. Umpire Lessels puts it up in the air. Seebeck is in the ruck as Billy called for. Won the punch down. Ball goes towards half forward, thrown out to Potter. He got it out wider to Lang. Kicks it towards centre wing. Almost a free kick. Umpire did the right thing, let it go. Goodrum swings onto the right, chips it short. Who can pick it up? No one. Poor bounce. Delaquila gathers, goes back out towards centre wing. Bounce favours Eddie. Lang gave the hand pass off. Terrific tackle laid. Umpire said play on. That was Robinson again. Goodrum goes in. He got dragged off the ball without it. Umpire blows a whistle. High tackle advantage paid. Demons brought back. And the free kick will go to Richard Lang.
Well, feel that tempo lift again there, boys.
It's game on now, fellas. Don't worry about that.
So Lang, poor kick from the young ruckman, goes to McNamara. He goes into the middle of the ground for the Eagles. It's Richardson who had all the play there. Fitton just trips over him. Richardson gets it back well. Only comes as far as Oliver. Oliver to Vlatko was clever. Now to Robinson, inside 50. It's one-on-one. It's Ryder versus Widmar. Ryder overruns it. Fitton can get it over the top. He's got Ritchie in the goal square. Now he's got Keir. Can he get it over? Keir just toe pokes it. Ritchie's trying to get there. Richardson for the Demons. He's played very well. Oh, the handball over the top goes towards Delaquila. He'll be happy to see the boundary line. Over it goes. This is a great grand final. Pennant Hills by 1 point.
It's everything you'd hope for, Dan.
Massive pressure there on Pennant Hills' back line, and they've risen to the occasion once again. They've been fantastic today.
Everyone's under pressure from the umpires to the coaching staff, and in particular the players. Smythe tackled, wrapped up, ball up. Delaquila has him. Oh, what a contest, and the Reigns title for the moment may come again in the final term. We've gone 22.5 in this third premiership term, and still we're no closer to knowing who's the 2006 Premier. Delaquila tries to kick it forward. Kalupa's good smother, out of bounds throw in. We're 40 metres from the Eagles' goal. They trail by a point.
Well, interesting now with Fraunfelder going off. You can just see that Seebeck and Ryder starting to dominate the ruck against young Lang.
It's an interesting one. Fraunfelder has been very good. They need to get him back out there of his fit. He's hobbling badly on the boundary line. As the ball falls out the back of the pack, Ritchie can't get clear. Ball towards the line and over for a boundary throw in.
You see the Eagles doing the smart thing, lining up across that centre line about 40 metres off the contest, making sure they've got the extra man.
There was Fraunfelder on screen. He's in trouble. Make no mistake about that. Robinson got the tap down. Vlatko tried to get through as he grabbed without it. Umpire said yes, advantage paid. Here's Ritchie. Snap around the corner from Rowan Ritchie. Eagles are in front at Henson Park.
Well, they are fired right up here at the East Coast Eagles. They've all run to each other as you do in a grand final. Vlatko put his body on the line, won the free kick. The players stood still except for Fitton, who played on, got it over to Ritchie, and it was a great snap-on goal.
Two incredible goals, opportune moments for the East Coast Eagles, and they've jumped on board and got the best result they could ask from them.
So we are 25 minutes into this third quarter. Sydney AFL Grand Final. Can't be much time left here in the third quarter. 6-4-40 plays 4-11-35. 5 points to the Eagles. Comes down towards Smythe. Well done by Shepherd. Does very well. Now back towards Talbot. Good tackle there by Oliver. Now Keir. Can he get it out to Goody? He does so. Goody, was he taken high? No. Umpire Lascelles right there on the spot. Saw everything. Let the play go, which was great, and there'll be a ball up 25 metres out from the East Coast goal.
Wasting no time, the umpire throws it up. Lang elected to tap it instead of take it. Good decision. That's Smythe. Ritchie there too. Kicked the goal a few moments ago. A free kick too high. Ritchie's kick. Ritchie's kick for the Eagles. He's inside 50 with the ball too.
That's exactly where the breeze is coming from. We saw Robinson kick one from out there earlier. He just boomed it from about 60 out. Ritchie spent the first half of this quarter on the bench, Dan, and he's come on and been a very good player for the Eagles.
Been very good, originally from Tuggeranong. and did a bit of overseas travel in 2004. Very welcome back.
Rowan Ritchie's kick's not a good one. It's through for a behind. It extends the lead to one straight kick. They were behind by a goal. East Coast Eagles 6-5-41. Pennant Hills 4-11-35.
So we're waiting for someone to actually want to kick the ball back in. It's just sitting behind the goal mouth, and no Pennant Hills player going to take the kick.
Sean Jones isn't the longest kick for Pennant Hills. Normally okay. Certainly got pace.
Chips to himself and then kicks to defensive 50. Goody chops it off. Goes again. Stolen from him by Keir. Snap around the corner. Jones gets back. Thumps it through for a rush behind to the Eagles. Extends the margin now to 7 points. And there's still no one wants to take the kick, so Jones has to come back and do it again.
Well, he's not the right option here. Kicking into the breeze. I mean, at best, he's a 40-metre kick there.
It's usually Seb Parker. Is he on the bench?
He is. Went off with the blood rule with the claret running from the left eye earlier. So Jones kicks it out wide. Potter takes the mark, but that's three-quarter time in this Sydney AFL Grand Final for 2006. The Eagles kick 2 late goals, and they go into this final quarter. They'll be kicking into the breeze, but they lead 6-6-42 to Pennant Hills 4-11-35. So the start of the final quarter, the 2006 Sydney AFL Grand Final. The Pennant Hills Demons trail the Eagles by 7 points, but they are kicking with the aid of the breeze. Talbot gets it out for the Demons. High ball. Spencer knocked it over the top to Moratis. Moratis inside 50, looking for Barrett. Good spoil by Merkel over the boundary line and out of bounds. Thrilling game here, Dan.
Absolutely thrilling, Billy. It's a massive challenge here that's been set up for both sides. First goal, extremely important. Pennant Hills, advantage of the breeze. East Coast need to get one on early. They've got the 1 goal advantage, or the 7 points. Next goal, very important.
If anyone gets beyond 2 goals, you fancy they'd win it. Ritchie was in there. It come out wide. Kalupis. Potter knocked him off the ball. No, he didn't. Good, strong body there, shown by Kalupis. Robinson athletic over the top, eventually coming through Kalupis again. Moratis in there as well, tracking the football. Number of players around it, plethora of them. And we've got to throw in out of side. It is forward of centre wing and attacking side of goal for the Pennant Hills.
So the Eagles have thrown the dice, rolled the dice here. Seebeck's gone into the ruck. Fraunfelder back on.
Ball back in, 1 down by Seebeck. Just gave it the backhander forward. Trying to tap it on again was Vlatko. It goes further forward for the Eagles. Fitton can't pick it up. Parker did, then got knocked off the ball by Fitton. And it's wrapped up. Umpire Kalazic comes in and says, give it to me. It's still very overcast. It's still very dark. But it looks like, and fingers crossed, the rain might hold off for the half an hour it needs to.
So Kalupos wins that down. Vlatko, clever little tap towards Ritchie, who played well in the second half of that last quarter for the Eagles. He's won a free kick here. It'll go to Ritchie. He's outside 50, kicking into the breeze. Physic makes a lead. Ball coming back to Smythe, in fact, says umpire Elliott. So Ryan Smythe. Clark standing the mark. Smythe calls Ryder to come forward. That's a booming kick by Ryan Smythe. It's there for the Eagles. That is an incredible goal into the breeze.
Absolutely incredible. Not only into the breeze, but the angle that he was on.
The jaws on the concrete again. I can't believe the goals that they're pulling out at the moment.
Oh,
Pressure.
Pennant Hills must be wondering just what they have to do.
No, that's another goal from outside 50. You wouldn't back anyone outside 50 today. And Ryan Smythe, he's had opportunities today which he hasn't been able to hit. That's come from the clouds.
Well, I made the call, Dan, that beyond 2 goals, you couldn't see the other side really coming back. It's beyond 2 goals. It's 13 points. Nick Potter trying to make a liar inside 50. He's kicked. Merkel did enough on Setford. Bottom of the pack, come down. An opportunity there. Nick Campbell missed it. Pennant Hills eventually lose the football. McNamara dropped. He fumbled the footy. Eyes up before acceptances. And whistle in there too for the Eagles. So too Charlie Richardson holding the ball. No, it was appealed for by Nick Campbell. Umpire said, no, we've got to bounce 15 metres from Pennant Hills' goal.
So the Demons need a goal right here just to pick things up again. Seebeck tapped it over the top. Trying to go through for the Eagles was Hubble. Couldn't get clear. Diving on the footy for Pennant Hills. Tap back forward towards the boundary line. Campbell right in the midst of that. And we'll have another boundary throw in. 13 points the margin in favour of East Coast Eagles. We've played 4 minutes in the final quarter.
Comes down, Seebeck juggling for it. Talbot off the ground, ricochets back to Goody. Goody goes high and long. Bounces just inside. It's a bit like watching the French Open there. You can see the divot, you can see the mark. About 3 inches inside the boundary line, be thrown back in.
It will. True centre wing position too. Best of luck to all people in this final term, including the umpires. And the ball is a free kick for legged. Is it? It is.
He played for it, Potter. A bit of experience.
Potter's got it. And he's not going to waste any time in playing on. Runs away from Goody, kicks, right boot, 30 metres out from goal, almost. Spencer got rid of his opponent well. Goodrum, kick off the ground, been everywhere. Kalupas links up, Pearson runs defensive 50. He's kicked towards Smythe. He takes the mark, no he doesn't, dropped it. Got it on the left boot, got it inside forward 50. Chasing the ball over there, Vlatko. Can't quite get it, the captain looking for a goal. Trying to clear it, Pennant Hills. Quickly off the ground, physical's there for the Eagles, but the Pennant Hills boys work it to Charlie Richardson. Clears him, Goodrum with it. Puts the arms up, then was tackled. Ball went 20 metres backwards the wrong way. Jones almost gave a free kick on McNamara. Had to beat two. He beat two. A 4-on-2. Goodrum makes it the second person for the Eagles and he wins the footy again. They want the footy badly, the Eagles, as do to the Pennant Hills boys. This is Mick Redmond. Clever. Tried to find Smythe. Went beyond him. The ball at centre wing with Richie. He's kicked towards half forward for Vlatko. Can't get it. Parker there too. Almost a free kick. Nothing doing close to the line. Keir out of bounds. Great finals footy. We've gone 4.5 minutes final term.
Well, plenty of excitement on the ground, plenty of excitement in the crowd, and plenty of excitement in the box at Henson Park. Quick kick came straight out of mid-air from that ruck contest for the Demons. Barrett put his head over the ball. Hand pass out from Frauenfelder. He's lifted, shrugging off that ankle. Kick goes towards half forward. Little one off the ground, gave a chance to McRedmond, back to Seebeck, fumbled before he could get it on the boot, fell back to Talbot, he kicks down towards half forward, 1 out contest, ball thumped away by Entwistle, he goes again, Barrett will get there first, stops, weaves, kicks it back, good vision, mark taken by Spencer, hasn't had a chance to kick a goal today, Spencer playing up the ground. I'll tell you what, it'll take his absolute level best from here too. He's going to have a crack and see if he can produce one of those great goals that the Eagles have done in the last 15 minutes or so. Spencer unloads from 48, lands in the square, almost the mark in the goal square, not quite for Jones. Or was it Campbell, in fact? We'll
I don't know.
The ball up.
I'd love to see a replay of that.
No, there's plenty of mud in that case rather than grass
Looked like
on that
enough,
footy.
mate. Ball thumped straight over the line by Seebeck for a rush behind to Pennant Hills. The margin back to 12 points.
He just fell right into the slot on that occasion. Half mud, half body, and it just sat up. So I think correct decision there from the umpire.
So Seebeck's isolated out on the far flank. That's the direction they'll go. Has he kicked it far enough's the question. Finds him now, needs to get it on. He does so to Richie. Richie over the top to find McRedmond. The Eagles are away here. They're all running through the middle of the ground. Just needs to chip it inside to Goody. He ignores him. He's got Vlatko on a long lead down the flank. That's where he goes. Nice kick. Vlatko works his way to the front. Oh, beautifully rove there by Kalupas. Weaves inside. Tries to kick inside 50. Richardson plays well, back to Delaquila, he clears and finds Jones.
Jones has got the ball right in front of his favourite sign that we see so often here on the Sydney AFL Match of the Week in the kick. McNamara dropped it, Pennant Hills work it, forward 50, no one home but Pearson. Charlie Richardson sat off him, boundary line wins out, throw in forward of centre wing for Pennant Hills. They trail 48-36.
Hope you're enjoying it wherever you're watching, because we're certainly enjoying it here. East Coast Eagles lead it by 12 points, heading right to the death of this. Ball back into play, Frauenfelder, Seebeck front spot, grabbed it clean, then knocked it down to the front. Ball came out to Robinson, tumbled a kick towards half forward, onto the chest and then off the chest of the Eagles player in Fitton. And it is over the line again for a throw in.
Lots of activity around those boundary lines at the moment. East Coast well and truly happy. Pennant Hills need to get it in ground and start moving it and get another scoring opportunity.
So Spencer's gone down into the ruck as Frauenfelder comes off and Lang will come on. Picked up well by Jones. Snaps over his shoulder. Goody's parked under the ball. That was courage by Mark Goody. Play on's the call. Interesting one. Must have been touched. Goody goes inside, looking down there for Fitton. Spencer does well. Good bump by Smythe. Boundary line will be Spencer's friend. Over it goes, and it'll be thrown back in. We've played 8 minutes in this final quarter.
Who would have thought you'd have the two full forwards head-to-head in the ruck in the last quarter of a grand final?
And he's got to stay there, Spencer. Spencer's got to go with Gus, with Fraunfelter off the ground now.
Coaches can't do a whole lot more. They're trying to throw some last-minute match-winning moves. Potter will take it. Neither ruckman tapped it decisively. Goodrum watching the ball. Barrett wasn't. Neither grabbed the football. Come the ground level. Barrett was clever not to give away a free. Tapped it on to Setford. Setford runs around one kick inside 50. It'll clear. He's a direct teammate, and McNamara has it. He's only got Richardson to contend with. I'm not sure what he was trying to do, go over the top. Charlie Richardson put the body in, did well, kept his feet, the only one that did. Spins around 30 metres out. Are we a goal? The difference? We are! Going back on Charlie Richardson goals for the Pennant Hills boys. He's been one of the best on. And Pennant Hills go to 5-12-42. East Coast Eagles 7-6-48. We've gone 9 minutes in the final term. 2006 Premier League Grand Final.
Great composure there for Richardson. Plenty of talk. He knew he had time. Allowed him to come around on the left, onto the left side, and slot out a very well-deserved goal for Pennant Hills.
Michael Cousins looking understandably nervous on the boundary line. He knows his team is right in this match. Seebeck won the tap, couldn't get a clear advantage. Ball hacked out of the pack towards half forward. Pearson left it behind. Spencer's there, got dragged down. Umpire said play on. Kick came from, was that Oliver, down into the centre of the ground. Oh, great desperation. Mark taken by Potter.
So Potter to bring the Pennant Hills Demons back into attack. He comes out wide looking for Carey. Takes a good mark, but Redmond couldn't quite get his hand on the ball. Richardson makes another lead. Gets in the hole. Campbell now. Seebeck dropping into that hole. He slips over. Spills down to Setford. Setford smothered by Merkel. Out of bounds. Right against the behind post.
Hasn't had much game time, Merkel, but that was a critical piece of play. Just got his hands on that ball because Setford has a knack of kicking those.
Well, McNamara, after that mistake earlier, is an experienced player playing on Richardson. He really has to lift. He's just bowed the head the last couple of minutes. The Eagles can't afford that.
Boy, oh boy, what a game. Ball up. Seebeck tapped it from second in line. Setford near the line. Got a 2-on-2 situation. The Pennant Hills almost keeping him with Barrett. Not quite. Crowd doesn't like it.
No, I didn't like it.
I didn't like it either.
Two boys in the box, both Andrew and Dan. Neither of them liking it either. Right, detect a bit of eagle coming out in you there, Bill. We've got to throw in inside forward 50 for the Pennant Hills.
One down again by Seebeck. Ball ends up in the bread basket of Pearson. In fact, it was a bit lower than the bread basket. He's on his haunches, Christian Pearson. And, don't rub him, count him.
I was agreeing with the Pennant Hills out of bounds before. Being very fair.
Ball back into play. Seebeck won it down, straight back towards the line. Bounce just inside. And we'll have another boundary throw in. Eagles lead by 6 points. We've played 12 minutes in the final quarter.
We've got Spencer against Seebeck. Seebeck wins it down towards McRedmond. McRedmond, can he get it off? No. Good tackle there, laid by Matt Carey. Now to Jones. Goody throws his body in. Talbot off the ground. Now to Setford. Needs some clean hands. Back to Talbot. Good little inverse-reverse talk. Over to Goodrum. Does well. Back to Entwistle. The two young players for the Eagles. Merkel clears for them. Goes to Goody. That's a good kick. So Mark Goody, former Werribee player in the VFL a few seasons back. Where's he going to go? Looks down the line towards Oliver. He ignores him. Now goes in that direction. Richardson's going to come from behind. No, he waits. Richardson's still there. Free kick against Oliver will go to Potter.
Potter feeds it off immediately to Richardson. Alistair, he's kicked straight into the man on the mark. McRedmond went again and he couldn't quite get it. So too there Travis Hubble. In fact, Craig Robinson out of bounds. Throw in, true centre wing position. 48-42. We've gone 11 and a half and we're sitting in the final term of the grand final.
Ball back into play. Seebeck got rid of Lang easily, then thumped it away. Tracking it was Potter. Couldn't hang on at the first attempt. And it's back over for another throw in.
Some fresh legs on the boundary line there. I think it's Matt Williams. I don't think this will be his first appearance today.
I think so. So down towards Robinson. Then Talbot for Pennant Hills. Lang's in there. Robinson, he's just about hatched it. Back towards Matt Carey. Well tackled by Vlatko. And umpire Lascelles said, I'll have it once more.
Nick Campbell coming to the bench for Pennant Hills, replaced by Wright.
We've got about 15 minutes to go in this contest of the whole entire year. It's all on the line. Eagles by one solitary straight kick. Mick Redmond over the head. Blair Oliver come through looking for Kalupas. Richardson stole it. Fed to a teammate along the boundary line. They inch it forward. Is that a free kick against Matt Carey? It is. It is. Holding on. Free kick will go the way of Goody. It was there. I thought it was fair enough. He held him after it. Goody's got the football. They're being consistent on that.
Parker back on the ground as well now.
Defensive side of centre wing, puts it towards centre wing now. A plethora of players there. It comes to ground level. Talbot, quick kick, only as far as Seabeck. Mick Redmond trying to find Merkel. In the back was Potter. Umpire let it go. Pennant Hills towards forward 50 with Jones. Didn't go the 10 metres, didn't go the 15 in fact. So Goodrum tried to tap it on. Goody in there, tackled. What's the umpire going to do? Holding the ball! Oh boy, listen to the crowd. Are they into this or what? Nick Potter with the ball. He's got the free kick. He's forward of centre wing. He puts Pennant Hills inside 50 for a mark. They can't get it. Close to the boundary line, Setford. Will he go off the ground? Keeps it in and eventually rushed over the line. Boundary throw in. We're only 20 metres around Pennant Hills goal.
Williams still trying to get onto the ground. I'm not sure who got the call, but he hasn't come off for him just yet. Ball back into play. There is Williams on screen. Seabeck won another tap, trying to get through. Talbot couldn't do so. There's going to be a stacks on the mill. Umpire Frank comes in and will ball it up one more time. Right in the teeth of goal for the Pennant Hills team. A goal here could level the scores. Umpire Kalasic puts it up in the air and he'll have to come in and ball it up one more time as the Pennant Hills crowd screams for holding the ball. Fraunfelder going to come back on as well for Richard Lang.
So up it goes. Seabeck gets it over the top towards Goody. That was good footy. Gets one high. Umpire Kalasic agrees. He's going to switch play now. Goes across and finds Richie. Richie juggles it and then takes it. He's got Entwistle further on. He ignores him. He's called play on. Goes to Seabeck. Seabeck thumps it onto the boot. Doesn't go very far. McNamara's there. Now back to Richie. That was a good handball. Back towards McNamara. Throw it on the boot. Heads toward the boundary line. It's out of bounds on the full. Free kick will go to Moratis. In fact, it goes to Alistair Richardson.
Richardson, the kick from 55.5 metres out to the goal square across the face, is it? It is. It is. It travelled 55 and then some. Oh boy, hearts in the mouth sort of stuff if you're an Eagles supporter. 7-6, 48, 5, 13, 43. Margin cut to 5 points.
Tell you what, they know where to get the long ball coming in from now. It took them half a game to work it out. And then Craig Robinson said, this is the direction, fellas. Kick goes to the outer side. Ball tapped over the back. McNamara, who's there? No one able to pick it up clean. Falls out the back. Charlie Richardson now to a quick kick on goal. Will be close. Just misses near side. And a through for one behind to the Demons. So the margin is back to 4 points.
So we've played 17 minutes in this grand final. The Eagles are up by 4 points, trying to hang on. Pearson plays it to himself and goes long. Ball holds up in the breeze. Nick Potter's there. Fraunfelder back on the ground. Looks for Barrett. Spoiled there. Now down to Wright, who roves it. Was there a touch? No. Through for one behind. Pennant Hills peppering the goals here. They have kicked 1 goal 4 in this final quarter. The Eagles just the one straight goal.
Opportunities galore for Pennant Hills. They can't capitalise. East Coast.
I think those 3 points is ensured we won't get a draw here in extra time. I think that'll ensure it, that we can safely say that Fidden flew in front of Robinson. The two teammates could have possibly spoiled each other. Fraunfelder, Charlie Richardson, 30 out. Richie does well. Bumped him off the football cleverly without giving away a free. Moratis in there too for Pennant Hills. That has to be a ball up. He can't pluck a free kick, surely, and he doesn't. The umpires today, number 7, Frank Kalasic, 17, Joel Elliott, 21, Nathan Lessels. All important job final term.
20 scoring shots to 13 for Pennant Hills, but the Eagles lead by 3 points. Campbell couldn't get it away. Picked up there by the Demons player. Couldn't get clear. And we'll have another ball up.
Absolutely intense pressure on East Coast at the moment, trying to hang on to this lead inside 50. He's been there for the last 5 minutes and they can't get a goal, Pennant Hills.
So Potter tries to kick, well smothered. This is the stage of the game where the pressure is on and decision making counts. You've played for it all season and you need to be making those right decisions. Ball goes back up. We're 40 metres out from Pennant Hills goal. Great tap by Frauenfelder. Richardson, good tackle. Eagles playing for the free kick. Wasn't there. Umpire Elliott to restart play.
Do we call it early down and say next goal wins?
Oh, mate.
Just an amazing game of footy. Could it be decided on the siren lane? Spencer towards Barrett. Tapped it down. The Raiders from 20 metres couldn't get a kick. Barrett. Snap. Left boot. Will there be a goal? It's to the line. Pearson needs to take a goal. Touch. Touch. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Get a replay of that. There must have been only inches in it. It looked over the line from here. We got a 2-point ball game.
Well, I had the glasses on that. I tell you what, I can't call it. He was closer than me. They've got another chance to kick on goal. It'll be another behind.
It could be a draw yet, guys.
Wow. 5-17. I think it was Potter on that occasion. Matt Carey.
Pennant Hills have had every opportunity and just can't get one through. East Coast sustaining this pressure. It's incredible.
Lane Spencer's all on his own there. Seabeck comes in, late spoil. Now Goody. Falls down to Richardson. Richardson, it's going over the top. It's floating. Another behind. Scores are level here at Henson Park. We have played 20 minutes of this grand final, and it is 5-18 to Pennant Hills. 7-6, 48 to the Eagles. Falls down short to Oliver. Goes to Goodrum. Throws it onto his boot. Robinson trips over. Seb Parker fumbles what he should have taken off. Fortuitous kick goes to Talbot. Who's there? Pearson for the Eagles.
And if Pearson wasn't there, Pennant Hills were in front. It's pressure footy. It's been about 10 minutes in the one half of the ground. It's to the Pennant Hills boys. They've thrown the absolute proverbial down to the East Coast Eagles. We've seen a beauty in the final game of 2-0-6, 48 apiece. Pennant Hills again defensive 50, in forward 50 in fact. Got the ball. Here's a chance to get in front. Charlie Richardson is in front. It's a point. Pennant Hills are in front. He's missed, but Pennant Hills are in front by a point, 49-48. We've gone beyond 20 minutes final term.
Well, 21-17 in fact in this last quarter. They have kicked 7 points, I think it is, in a row. 1-8 for the quarter. They lead by a point, Pennant Hills. Coming out of defence, they've got to go length of the field, the Eagles. All the pressure is on them now. Quick kick goes back inside 50. Tracked over the line. Potter happy to see it over now. 5-19, 49 Pennant Hills. 7-6, 48 East Coast Eagles. Everyone's on the edge of their seats.
So Matt Williams now in the ruck for the Eagles. Falls over the back towards Moratis. Kick by right. Goodrum marks it. Now back to Goody. Parker with his head wrapped up. Frauenfelder's there as well. Frauenfelder against Kia. Gets the handball over to Potter. Balks around one. Inside 50. Barrett's there. Pearson's going to get the knockdown. Beautifully rode by Richardson. Doesn't quite pick it up. Setford's there. Now back to Barrett. Oliver charges in for the Eagles. Gets it out to Williams. He fumbles it. Ent whistles there for the Eagles. Tries to get the handball on. Does so. Oliver's still there. Comes back to Barrett. Barrett snaps over his shoulder. High in the air. Wright's going to go for it with Merkel. Out of bounds. Touched right next to the point post. We've played 22 minutes. This is unbelievable. Pennant Hills in front by 1 point.
They led by 13 East Coast Eagles. What do you reckon, boys? About 27 or so minutes, 27 and a half maybe. Lane Spencer tapped it. Come back the other way. Williams, easy chance. Setford snap. Is this a goal? It isn't. Oh, boy. They just cannot get that one goal they need, Pennant Hills, but they're out by 2 points.
Just got to get
hard again for a draw.
Got to get your hands on the footy here. No point punching it. Hands on the footy. Kick it forward.
Christian Pearson hooks in, goes outside 50, bounces off the head of Williams. He gave a push, did he? He
did. Head flash, I think.
Free kick to the Demons.
Frauenfelder, I believe.
On his launches there, Potter got cleaned up. He's got the free kick. Time has been stopped. 5 goals, 20 Pennant Hills have kicked.
I'll make a call now there. If Pennant Hills wins, Nick Potter will get the medal for best on.
He's been good, Potter. Plays on, kicks to the top of the goal square. And a great mark back by Ritchie. Gave the hand pass off. Coming away, Pearson has to get a long kick. Does so, breaks the line. Who's there? One man. Mick Talbot, the captain. Goes out wide. Alistair Richardson. And now they can start to chew up some clock.
So Alistair Richardson called the play on now by umpire Kalasic. He kicks it long. Booming left foot punt. Setford's at the back. Good spoil there by Goodrum. Comes over towards Talbot. Handballs it over his head. Entwistle. Merkel. Back to Entwistle. Eagles, can they build something? Finds McNamara. And there's the siren. Pennant Hills Demons have won the grand final. East Coast Eagles, undefeated through to the grand final, have lost this by 2 points. A brilliant victory here to Pennant Hills. 5 goals 20 to 7 goals 6. 25 scoring shots to 13. They peppered the goals in that last quarter and they thoroughly deserved the victory.
Unbelievable scenes in the twilight at Henson Park. The Pennant Hills Football Club have produced one of the boil-overs of the season. Nothing against them because they've been fantastic all year. They came out here, they gave it absolutely everything, and in a frantic final quarter, the Pennant Hills Football Club have come home with the chocolates. Heartbreaking for the East Coast Eagles, undefeated all season. They've lost the grand final by 2 points in an absolute cliffhanger. 5 goals, 20-50 Pennant Hills. Strange score to win a grand final, I'm sure. East Coast Eagles 7-6, 48. Goal scorers for the Demons, Charlie Richardson kicked 2, and singles to Jones, Campbell and Barrett. While for East Coast Eagles, 2 each to Smythe and Physic, singles to Seebeck, Ritchie and Robinson, and it is celebration time for Pennant Hills. Unbelievable.
What can you say, guys? Unbelievable grand finals. The umpires leave the ground. I hope if you've been listening, wherever you've been listening around the world and then in Australia, I know you haven't been here, but it's been one classic game of football. The absolute elation by the Pennant Hills boys has to be seen to be believed, as you can see on screen right now. They are absolutely ecstatic, and at the other end of the scale, you've got to feel for the East Coast Eagles. I'll tell you a story last year, guys. I was a part of a commentary team down in the Uplands of Murray that called a grand final. In fact, the 2 sides that participated then, it resulted in the score being 5 points the difference, and a goal after the siren won the game for one of those sides, which was the underdogs. So those 2 sides can very much get the idea of how this feels in calling that, but to call 2 in a row is a very lucky job indeed, and we've seen quite a contest. We knew Pennant Hills were going to take it up to them. The weather made sure they were going to take it up to East Coast Eagles, and at the end of the day, both sides had their opportunities to win the game. Pennant Hills were in front early, East Coast up by 13 points. You've just got to feel for East Coast, but well done to the Pennant Hills boys.
You certainly do have to feel for East Coast, and you don't have to worry about hiding those names. It was Lavington and Myrtleford in a great Ovens and Murray grand final last year. You saw that, I didn't. We've seen a classic today in the wet. The East Coast Eagles finally now can get their legs working to come together into a group. It's going to be a tough night for them. Their reserves, of course, won the premiership earlier on today, beating Pennant Hills. The Demons were staring down the barrel of losing 3 grand finals on this last day of the season, but they've done it. I think they were 5 goals 11 at one stage in that last quarter. 4 goals 11 they were when the East Coast Eagles led by 13 points. It was 7-6 to 4-11. Pennant Hills kicked a goal which cut the margin to 7 points, and then 9 successive behinds for the Demons. They couldn't quite find the goal that would have made it a lot more comfortable, but just sheer weight of scoring shots brought the Pennant Hills Football Club the Sydney AFL Premiership for the second time. 2000 and now 2006 to Pennant Hills.
Now, guys, we do have the job of picking the best on ground medal winner. Let's just run through our best players each here.
Didn't realise that.
I thought for the East Coast Eagles, Goodrum was fantastic all day, and I thought Pearson as well was another standout for the Eagles down there in defence. I'm not sure if you guys think of anyone else on the Eagles side. On the Pennant Hills side, I had marked Alistair Richardson. I thought Nick Potter was fantastic. Charlie Richardson got them back into the game. Michael Talbot tried hard, wasn't probably as dominant as he was the week before, and Matthew Carey as well.
Not to steal your words, Billy, but I will totally agree with you in Pearson. I think was sensational back there in defence, and across the other side, the three players that I thought, and I know you already mentioned them, Alistair Richardson, number 5, number 13, Charlie Richardson, and I thought also Nick Potter was sensational.
It was, no doubt about that at all. I agree completely. Craig Robinson is the other one you can probably throw up for the Eagles, who started slowly, didn't see much of him in the first quarter of a half, but he came to the party, kicked that terrific long goal, and just through some terrific play, almost got his team over the line. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be, and
we could have Dan shortly too with someone, guys. We don't. We don't. He's standing behind me. That's why we won't.
Dan, what about your best players, Dan?
Mate, I think what you've said it pretty well. I think for Pennant Hills, it was a good job by Nick Potter. I think he was fantastic across the round. He was in the thick of everything. Got plenty of kicks. I thought Frauenfelder was good. He went back on with an injury. He did struggle, but came back on, ran through. That was very important for them. Barrett had his moments. I think Talbot was probably the other one for mine. I think he played that captain's role. He got a lot of good in and under ball. Probably not as noticeable as the other players, but did get plenty of it. Over on the East Coast side, I thought Goodrum was great. I thought he was in the thick of it. He tried hard. Not quite the disposals, but the in and under player that he is. I thought he did a good job. Across the park, they did struggle with the back end of it.
Now, come on, boys. You're 3-2-1s. We've got to tell them who's going to win this.
well, I'll go first on this occasion. I gave 1 vote to Nick Potter, a terrific performance from him. 2 votes to Christian Pearson from the Eagles. I thought the one that really stepped up, he ended up on his scorecard with 2 goals too, and won the game, I think, for Pennant Hills. Charlie Richardson, 3 votes for me.
Well, I've gone Alistair Richardson 3, Pearson 2, and Charlie 1.
I've gone 3 votes to Potter, 2 votes I gave to Pearson. I thought he was great for the Eagles in defence, and I gave 1 vote to Alistair Richardson.
And I'm going to come home with exactly what Murph's put out. So,
just have a look at that. Alistair Richardson here.
Great minds think alike.
We have 3, 1 and 1 is 5.
And while the genius mathematicians get together, say it right, mathematicians get together, we watch Pennant Hills come
has 7
as they begin to celebrate what a wonderful game of football it's been. East Coast Eagles, commiserations all around by them. A couple of the Pennant Hills players now making their way over to just congratulate on a great game with the East Coast Eagles. Presentations to come up, boys. Do we have a result?
We do. Christian Pearson with 8 has just got it ahead of Nick Potter with 7. Charlie Richardson with 4, Alistair Richardson with 5.
The only player named by all 3.
If the Pennant Hills people would like to move over, we'll move on with the presentation of the medals and the cup.
We'll go now down to the presentations.
Ladies and gentlemen, a memorable grand final in atrocious conditions. Congratulations to Pennant Hills. Commiserations to East Coast Eagles, but what a fantastic game. Everyone give them an applause. The rain's going to come down, so we'll move on fairly quickly. I'd like to invite Rowan Graham to come and speak to the crowd, say a few words. Thanks, Rowan.
Thanks very much. Thank you very much to all our supporters that have followed us all year. Unfortunately, we couldn't give you the prize at the end. Congratulations to Penno. You played better and deserved to win. To our guys, commiserations.
Thanks, Rowan. And the coach of the winning team, Michael Cousins. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. First and foremost, to the East Coast boys, commiserations. You've obviously had a stellar year, and I suppose I can only try and imagine the pain that no doubt you're feeling right now. And all of us who have been involved in footy or sport can only empathise with you. So bad luck today. You got one with your resi, so congratulations on that. But as was said yesterday, your club does set the benchmark in terms of how we should go about footy at a local level. I wish you all the best for the future. To our boys, I have 3 sons of my own who I love more than life itself, and a gorgeous wife who's the best thing I've ever had in my life. But all of a sudden, I got 22 new sons. I love you all. To all of the supporters that came out and toiled through these conditions, not only those that came today, because there were lots of people here today who I'm sure just made their way down because it was a grand final. Thanks for coming. But to the true supporters that have been there with us since the first practice match in March to this day, thank you to every single one of you for your contribution. And I tell you what, Pennant Hills Bowling Club's got a bit to fear. We're going to have a big one. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Before we move on and introduce Ross Howarth to present the trophies and the medals, one group that we must all remember and must all congratulate, the third team that were on the ground, and that was the umpires. They did a great job today. I'd like to introduce now Ross Howarth, AFL ACT Commissioner, to present the medals and to nominate and name the best player on the ground. Thank you, Ross.
Thanks, Bob. I won't keep you, ladies and gentlemen, because how fitting that on a day like this, just we're about to hand out the medals, the heavens open up again. The congratulations also go to everybody on that side of the fence. It's fantastic you've all come out to support the Sydney Football Grand Final today, and we really thank you for that. Congratulations to both sides on an amazing game today. It was just a fantastic contest between 2 wonderful teams of footballers. I'm reluctant to use that old cliche about one team had to win, but I think everybody should remember that this has been an outstanding season for the East Coast Eagles, undefeated minor premiers, and we know they'll be back even bigger and better next year. Congratulations to everybody associated with the Eagles Club. Congratulations to the Pennant Club, and I think in these conditions, let's get on with the presentations. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd now like to have the presentation for the best on ground, which is the Rod Podbury Medal, named after one of the greats of Sydney football, who we have here right with us, Mr. Rod Podbury. And the award goes to the East Coast Eagles, Christian Pearson.
Okay, we'll move on with the handing out of the medals, and I hope I can read through the rain. Alistair Richardson. Sean Jones. Jason Clark. Nick Potter. Nick Campbell. Charlie Richardson. Alex Fraunfelder. Oh, I'm sorry, now I'll say Sean Jones. Kieran Wright. Josh Keane. Peter Carey. Justin Barrett. Damien Delaquila. Clint Senford. Jonathan Moriartis. Sam Widmar. Matthew Carey. Richard Lang. Lloyd Shepherd. Rob Eddy. Lane Spencer. Tim Potter. Okay, Barnaby Houth. Ian Parker. Where's Ian Parker? Greg Castle. The captain's Michael Talbot. And Sebastian Parker. And the Premier Coach, Michael Cousins. Before we hand over the trophy, there's always some important thank yous on a day like today. There's been a lot of people put a lot of effort and a lot of work in through these final series. The clubs involved with running the canteen, the people involved in running the gates and all the other areas, the stuff that goes on up in the building up there. It's been fantastic. It's culminated in an excellent day. And most importantly, I want everyone to acknowledge the work that Brett Pedersen's done driving most of this all the way through the series. Well done, Brett. Now the most important part of the day. I'd like Ross now to present the trophy for the 2006 Premier Division trophy to the captain and coach of Pennant Hills.